Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live with Duel Links Team Wars Season 7, Week 7. BlessRNG versus D-Row, the Death Row, the best row. What is going on, everybody? I am Heinz Ketchum. I will soon be joined by none other than monkeyboy44, 8man 88 if you're nasty. And this is what the rosters look like today from the 3-3 BlessRNG with the -10 round differential. We got Lavitz, Restar, Hypebeast, Shouz, and Frost. From the 2 and 4 with the -5 round differential Death Row, we have Itachi, Noxio, Zeko, Hexter, and Kagami. Good morning to Sakura. What's up, BCK Knight? Where's the PCT breakdown? What you talking about, dude? It's on the website. Disturbia says, okay, so Heinz is going for Streak 2 for the streamer who casted the most Team Wars games. Heinz is on fire! I mean, it is hot. Don't get me wrong. I could spontaneously combust at any moment. But I am usually the streamer who's done the most games in a weekend, but I think I'm tied now, man. I think this is the first time I have ever been tied. Usually, I think last season, I did like 3 times as many as the next highest person. So definitely good to see some people picking up the games, and made a lot less work for me. So Monkey Boy says he'll be here in like 30 seconds. That's half a minute. Drinking some nice eye water. I see. I don't remember who was in second though. Was it Moo or I-Chan? It was I-Chan last time I looked, but I don't look at those kind of things too often. I am enjoying my my nitro from last month. So we got Itachi gonna be on the bottom. He's got a magic wand from what I've heard. The ladies love him. Hopefully get to see some new decks. We did see some Witchcrafters earlier, and we also saw Wayne come in with the Furry Lollies, and he was facing off against Witchcrafters. He had Furry Lollies with Predaplant in him. He had the Predaplant Chlamydia, and he ended up going up against a Invoked Lolly deck with Witchcrafters, which was very interesting. So hopefully we get to see some more spicy matchups like that today. If you guys do need to see what the scores were for the matches that have happened already this weekend, you can take a look at the This Week Score sections as they slowly scroll by throughout the match. You can also join the Team Wars Discord that'll be popping up throughout the stream by the hard-working Nightbot. And you guys can go ahead and click that link, and all the information about this week and the past week's matches will all be found. Oh, there's a Monkey Boy, and that is, I don't know if that's as quiet for everybody as it is for me. Can you say hello again?
Hello, check.
Okay, that does sound quiet, and that's not just for me. Hold on one second. There might be something wrong with my settings here.
It could be me. I don't know.
Because this happened with Hypebeast earlier as well.
I've got my output at 100%, so I guess it may be.
It's got to be me, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can boost mine if you want me to, but either way, we'll get it sorted out.
Can everybody in the chat hear Hypebeast pretty well? Or Monkey Boy? Did I say Hypebeast from earlier?
You did, but that's fine.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Can you guys hear me at all, though? In chat? Maybe. Check
Okay, they're saying you're low.
Yeah.
Gotta turn up the volume a bit. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. Like I said, I can, because Discord lets you go up to, I think, like 200%. So I can turn up my output if you want, or if you just want to mess with your sound settings, that's cool too.
Oh, I've got you up to 200% as well on mine. Yeah,
I'm only at 100, so I can bump up, is what I'm saying. Let me try and... I just went 150. I don't know if I
Okay,
sound...
now they're saying you're loud AF. Perfect. All right, good. Good. Now we're good.
All right, I'm like 125 now. We'll see if that changes.
This should be perfect. I think we got everything all sorted out. Greg
Okay.
Ulator says that's a good volume, and
All right.
perfect.
Cool. You guys let me know if I need to change anything, but I'll keep it here for now. But yeah, I think today I was late as usual, but less late than usual. So I'm trending in a good direction. You know, they haven't started yet.
Greg says, "Can you go into DSOD world?" Yeah, I can go into DSOD world. Oops, that's the regular.
Please, for me.
Is it for the music? Does the music sound?
I'm not sure where this is going. I don't know if we're getting baited.
Yeah, man. Monkey Boy can go up to 200%. This isn't even his final form.
Yeah, man. Turn into Monkey Man. 45.
Arthur just says turn off the music entirely. First off, that's racist.
True.
Second off, why aren't you even on the roster? I heard that Arthur was actually afraid of Death Row.
Is he now?
That's what I heard.
I can believe it. Yeah, no, that checks out. Also, I think, do you have Spud unlocked? Because I think that's what Greg wanted to see. Is he needed a, you know, classic Greg. He needed a hot piece of meat on screen.
Here we go. Yo, think you can beat me? Ha!
I honestly don't know if I've ever actually heard what he sounds like, because I play with game audio off because I'm just on like mobile, and that sounds really annoying to have it on. And I don't think anybody ever actually streamed Spud because, you know, a lot of reasons.
Are you saying Spud like a potato?
Is that not his name?
It's Scud.
I can't even remember. Oh, Scud. Okay.
It's like, did you say Spud?
Dude, I kind of thought it was Spud because he was a potato.
He does look potato-esque, you would say.
He does.
And you know, one of the best teams is consistent, at least 50% of potatoes. So, you know, that's not an insult in any way.
True. Now we need a brick player.
Would you... Looks most like a brick.
I don't know if we have any bricks yet.
Every time I play something competitive, I brick. So, is Shizu?
Andy, did someone ask for a brick player? There he is.
Alright, so Lavit's starting us off. It looks like it's probably Element Saber invoked to start. One set in the front, two in the back, and I would have to suspect he's up against C Stealth Attack, Kristrons.
Yeah, you'd have to make that guess. One of these days, I say it every week, but one of these days we'll be wrong. It's going to be Legendary Fish. But till then, yeah, most likely Element Saber. Setting a monster here could be an Alistair. Could just need an element in Crave and not have a convenient way to do.
And you know, that is a bad sign right there. When you see your opponent immediately drop the whale, oh boy, you're in for a good time.
Yeah,
because
heavily implied that there's a Self in hand already. Yep. Discards off a Rion. Now that's a decent enough discard, or not? Well, like a bad.
If you're sitting there for Lavitz, you're like, okay, he's not like dropping a Sulfef or a Smyger or a Thistburn right now.
Yeah.
Like getting an additional search on top of the C Stealth Attack and the non-targetable whale. At least he loses a tuner.
Yep. Which, you know, if this does come down to a grind, could be significant.
Speaking of pure C Stealth Attack, just from around the same era of Duel Links, I was recently playing with a Flying Fish deck.
Ooh, one of my all-time favorites.
And you can synchro with that now, man. There's some fish stuff you can do. You can get the white orals going. Pretty fun.
I love to do fish stuff and orals.
Bro, like the white oral Monoceros, it like, you bring that thing out and it special summons another fish from your graveyard.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm cruising over to the DLM site right now to do some lookups on what the heck any of those cards are, because I don't stay up to date on fish. You know,
you've clearly made a mistake, my friend.
It's been literal years since I've looked at fish.
Like early 2018.
Yeah, pretty much. Throwback to then, though. Simpler times, man.
Speaking of fish, here comes the biggest fish, which is actually a mammal. Should be a water beast type.
True.
Disrespectful Konami.
From Abyss Encounters himself.
Yo, hi, I'm Flabber in the chat. I was going to message you earlier for something, but I can't remember what now. But hey.
So ending on a floodgated whale and a Citri that has access to several level 3 options, plus a level 5.
Yeah, pretty good. And that's one thing too is, you know, one of the fun things about Sea Stealth Attack and Citri together is that you can actually chain the Sea Stealth Attack to the Citri to get yourself a free level 5 that floats.
That's true. A free level 5 that floats. Or, honestly, if you really want to, you can always do like a you know, like a Smiger or something. If you just need a monster that's on field that can pop something, summon out a tune.
This is very true. You could actually pop your own Sea Stealth Attack. Although you would have to remember too that you know, you're saying that you can pop something, but if you bring something back to Citri, the effects are negated on the board. But hey, you know, Monkey Boy not a Crystron Sea Stealth Attack expert like myself, so.
You know what? You got me. Rip.
Monkeys can't play decks like this.
I played myself.
What a monkey can play is like Dark Magician. He just slaps the
barely
with his banana. He's like,
barely. I can play Dark Magician because I remember what the shapes and colors do when you play them in sequence, but I still don't know how to.
I see.
I've been told a big part of playing Dark Magician is knowing when to, you know, interrupt your opponent. I just have to hope my shapes and colors intervene.
And if they normal summon something, I yeet it. That's it.
Exactly. That's how we were always playing, my boy.
And,
all right,
you know for sure that Element Saber Nalu feels right at home here in the ocean. She is a wet lady.
It's true, and at the same time, you also know Lavitz just saying, "Oh crap, I'm gonna have to go offensive or on the offensive with Element Saber Nalu," which is not something you ever want to have to do. So let's come back to that initial point I made about he was really just hoping it probably goes to Grave so he could, you know, start to switch around elements if he does get access to an Alistair. But at this point, it's looking like he's got a pretty weak hand.
Now, she does have that kind of like three-pronged crystal whippy thing, implying to me that she is a very lightly dressed dominatrix-esque lady. Now, are you interested in that kind of thing in your regular life?
You know, I mean, day to day, no. And you know, I would try it out with Nalu. She looked, you know, gentle and loving while also dominating.
She looks like she would respect your safe word.
Yeah, she looks like she might respect my safe word at the very least. And that's the kind of spice that I need in my life, you know.
You like the mystery of it all, that she might not respect your safe word.
I like the complete uncertainty as to whether or not I will be safe. Yeah, that's ultimately what I'm looking for.
The monkey wants some danger in his life.
He caught me. No, but does swing in with the Nalu, forces out the level 2 to summon something out, so it goes into Amateur.
Yeah, and the Amatrix not really getting a whole lot of value off of its effect here, so I do wonder if, you know, it would have been better just to do the play that I had mentioned earlier. Just get a +1. Just go get that Soul Fefnir, bring it onto the board. It sits there. It's a nice monster to have on board with the Sea Stealth Attack, and it gives you synchro options later, more flexible synchro options, actually.
It's true. The other detail with that, though, I guess really with either option, though, is that you do start to feel a little bit clogged, as you've got, you know, one floodgated monster, one synchro monster. Options on your board start to get a little bit more limited, or a little bit more dependent on kind of what you can pop. But either way, I mean, still just sitting on a level 5+ and a Sea Stealth Attack, which is really the core competency of this build. Until something more threatening
we do
shows
see
up.
Alistair the Invoker coming through. I do wonder what Arcthor was talking about. He said, when did Hines turn into Decade SMH? I don't know if he's seen me with my gray hair or Decade has been talking about Nalu being a dominatrix recently. But I have to figure out which one of those has,
I think it's
coming up.
in the same general category as like the pegging. You know, like roughly. That's my guess, at least.
It's not. It's not about the pegging. when you get to a certain age, your prostate needs to be lowered in size. So it's not about.
Oh no.
It's just.
Came back and said it's because your commentary is trash.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then.
That checks out.
Lavit's bringing
All
out
right.
that invoked Cocytus into defense position, perhaps a force of habit, but we do know that there's an impact set for Itachi.
True. The other thing to note here is that he was able to summon out Cocytus off of banishing Sulfafnir, rather, and also able to preserve his Nalu. So Sulf gets a little awkward. A little more awkward at least, or less usable, and then is able to go into another element down the road, so it could come up.
What do you feel is typically going to be the out for invoked element sabers right now for Sea Stealth attack?
You know, it's really tough because he's really behind on the cards he needs. I think I would say Cocytus is potentially one of them, and the other one is if you can set up like a Palace plus Malehu and start flipping down some of the big ones, and then maybe swing in with like a Purg or something. But that being said, he clearly doesn't have Palace or likely Malehu, so he's really kind of behind on that potential strategy, at least a few turns away from. So really, he probably has to hope that this Cocytus can, survive, make plays, but it's obviously not looking like that based on the defense mode and the impact that just got played. So at this point, he's really, I guess, hoping on that back row to be good.
Now, Sea Stealth attack obviously not going to do anything in terms of its effect here. Cocytus cannot be destroyed by card effects, but with zero defense, it's kind of a fish out of water, ironically.
I like that. But yeah, can be destroyed by battle, as we see here.
And by banishing that Sulf, he was able to just bring another level 5 back with the impact that he had searched the turn prior. Andy Sang saying, BRNG Civil War. Just not knowing what team I'm on. Yo, thank you, Swagonitis. I appreciate the support. My teammate, Swagonitis.
There it is.
I feel and Andy not keeping up with my my illustrious career.
Yeah, Andy, what the heck? Dare you not know the status of every player in the league?
Yeah, how dare you?
Where do you get off?
You
now
leave me
losing
under the sock, I think.
Possible. I was gonna say losing Cocytus there though is really tough because, like I mentioned, he's really only got two primary options as far as unless anything kind of cheeky happens.
Yeah, and he didn't change the element of the knowledge, just going straight into the Kaliga, another defense position monster. Does reduce the amount of effects that would be usable, but still very very liable to the Sea Stealth attack destruction.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's going to be super relevant, really. I think it's just a monster to drop on board, but...
Could have just left the Alistair at that point, right?
Yeah, I don't know that he's really gaining much advantage. Also sacks off the Malehu from hand, which I would think he may want down the road if he were to rip into a pal. Because at this point, I mean, Kaliga gets destroyed by any attack from SSA's effect. And then none
a
of the monsters
decent-sized sneeze can out Kaliga on the best of days.
Swinging in for potential lethal here, 23 over 22 with Amatrix, Fiendish Chain. Now the interesting question here becomes if you see Stealth attack to
And you have 6 cards in hand, too. I mean, Sea Stealth attack variant, not using any other limited 3s, so free to use the Cosmic Cyclone.
Yep. And that's tough. Was forced to use the Fiendish Chain there. Itachi did end up banishing out, but had no option around a face down unending to follow up with and actually out the Sea Stealth attack. Now does top into Palace here, and this could be a situation where yep, so now he has to use Palace effect to search. Probably going to go for Malehu, which if he would have just saved that from hand, he would have had...
Battle phase next turn?
Yep, well he would have had Battle phase next next turn, he would have had one more piece of ammo for Malehu down the road. There's really just no... Like, the last play cost him a lot more than it gained him. It would have been in the exact same spot, but with one more.
The card advantage really overwhelming for Itachi, as if Crystons didn't have enough ability to just kind of build their resources on the best of days, and now
yeah, sitting with too many cards in hand to end your turn. So, well, before that set at least.
Eddie saying Lavitz wants the time at win very badly. So that's a pretty good take on things if I'm Edu.
Yeah, at this point I don't know that there's really a whole lot of win conditions left for Element Saber.
Yeah, and we see the impact. Just negating the Malehu.
Yep. Honestly, even if it had negated, I mean, the Amatrix would have still just swung in and popped it without triggering D-Draw or without losing Amatrix. The other backers seemed to be pretty dead on the side of Sabers, and then there was no battle phase coming in from Sabers either. So really,
yeah, Itachi just never feeling threatened at all in that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is really how that matchup typically goes, unless Sabers is able to establish one of its couple advantages pretty quick, right? Like, unless they can draw into early unending and bait it out and pop, unless they can do a pretty strong Cassius push and have like a concentrating current with that or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly the C stealth attack Crystons is really one of the reasons that Element Sabers isn't as popular these days as well. So
yeah, yep.
It's not like it's a fun matchup for Element Sabers to begin with, and
no,
really Itachi opened almost optimally, and Itachi had a slow start, and then really just didn't have the resources to keep up with the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, I mean, the matchup's definitely doable from the side of Sabers, but you really need to get access to one of your advantages early. If you don't, it's not super realistic. And
now, Lavitz has backed it up with an Ishizu Ishtar. Do you suspect it's going to be something like Sealed Tomb's Dark Magician?
That's a really good question. You know, I suppose if you lose with, or if you're pairing with Sabers, you plan on potentially losing to SSA Crystron. I'd say that's probably, I don't know, I guess one of the most common counter picks or loss reason. So it could very much be paired with a Dark Magician. Tomb's mildly helpful in that matchup. Definitely not nearly as much as No Mortals used to be. I would say Dark Magician can win the matchup if that's what this is. I personally don't know if I feel that Dark Magician is too much of a count. I think more so than some other decks, but I don't know if it's super favored. But we'll see. We get to see a C stealth attack play first and figure out what kind of setup that Itachi is going to be able to go into first.
Ah, very strong. Set one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's if you're playing Crystons, that's exactly what you want to see. Set one.
that's the ideal turn one. Now the question is did he do that because he is really bricked, which is probably the case, or because he knows that Dark Magician can't turn one OTK?
Yeah, he could just be dealing 200 damage by setting a Press Yordle and having his opponent's rod swing into it.
True.
Hey, you want to hear the, well, there's a bit of a lull in the action. You want to hear the worst thing we have in common?
What's that?
That in our last outings in Team Wars, we're both 0-2 to Cyber Dragons.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are we?
I know the wound might be fresh, but yeah, that's
it's
both of us.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a season for me, at least. Nothing super positive over here, but we press.
Absolutely.
Fight a good fight against Cyber Dragons, you know.
I think this meta's doo-doo. Oh no, another set in the monster card zone,
no.
2 in the back row. And the other set was a Gen X controller.
The other, yeah.
And his opponent has established a Kaiku on the board as well.
Look at this hard counter from DM. Winning because it's such a counter. For no other reason.
I mean, it is a counter deck, but it doesn't have to counter a lot here.
Yeah. Very true.
Banishes the Sea Stealth attack just for good measure.
Doesn't
Has a
give a
negate
heck.
on board.
There's no monster that you're worried about swinging into here. Just take it out with DM, I guess, just to be safe, and then swing in with the other two. Banish out with Kaiku if you really want to, if you're feeling like that kind of guy.
Oh, the other set was Orion. Are you excited for? I think it's June 25th. We are getting a new DSOD Taya.
Oh, do we have a date for that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I was
think
just
it's
looking at the DLM post about DLM Teo. I kind of missed it a couple days ago when it came out.
I'm more excited about the artwork for DLM Taya, DSOD Taya.
I'm not an avid Taya fan. I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate her, but Taya just doesn't. You know, she's not one of my top tier waifus personally.
Okay.
I think I've maybe said it on cast before, but I'm a My Valentine guy myself. Personally, you know, that's just me though. I actually am curious if you're in chat and hanging out. You know, who's your preferred Yu-Gi-Oh waifu out of characters we have in game?
Yeah, don't start naming cards.
Yeah, don't name cards and don't name some obscure character from some Yu-Gi-Oh series that's.
Now, Arcthor brings up a solid point. Arcthor says, F-Taya, we want Joey's little sister Serenity from pre-eye surgery. I see. I like post-eye surgery. Like, I like to think that she doesn't have an eye, and that's an extra hole.
Dang. You know, I'm gonna not comment, but sure.
Xiao's predictably saying that Carly is the best bae, and Kodak saying Akiza likes the ladies in a corset.
You know, speaking of Serenity, I think I had made a joke to my team in a voice chat like a week or two ago, and we were talking about how it was a bummer that, you know, Worlds got canceled this year, and I was like, yeah, I guess my sister's eye surgery can just wait another year.
Oh, nice.
Imagine if Joey got turned away. They were like, come back next year. You can try and win the money for her eye surgery then.
But Konami, my sister's going blind.
But Konami.
Brooklyn Rage.
He's never gonna be able to see again.
Oh no.
You know, Akiza, I saw from someone in chat. Maybe. Oh, hold on.
Okay, Hypebeast just said Sarah. What?
Say that. What a dark horse pick. Wow, Sarah.
Is she like 8?
Sarah. Yeah. First off, whoa, age. Second, if we ignore Sarah, we'll just say Akiza, Mai, every other girl, Carly, Dark Signer, Carly. Ignoring Sarah, I'm somewhat on board with a lot. Shizu and Taya have never really done a whole lot for me.
So, Xiao's saying Akiza and Alexis are the normie picks.
Okay, Alexis,
so he doesn't
actually.
he didn't say Mai, which is kind of the standard, you know, busty blonde that I think a lot of people are, you know, drawn to. You know, that was Hugh Hefner made a whole TV show about that, I think.
True.
And a magazine, actually.
I'm over here talking mostly about those characters, so clearly I fall into that. Also, screw you, Dan, and chat. Jerry from 5T.
I mean, let's be honest. Monkey Boy is basically Rex anyway.
Rex.
Raptor, not good.
Raptor or good one? Okay. Okay.
Is that little purple streak in your hair? I've seen it.
My purple Rex streak, huh?
Yeah, he didn't die. He just fell face first in some Kool-Aid.
Oh, I'm always talking about Dino Demolition. You know, that's just like I just talk about.
I heard you played music and you like dinosaurs because they both have scales. Huh?
As usual, no comment.
Like scales, like.
I get it, but it hurts. As far as what happens to maybe be going on in this duel.
No, scales.
No.
Okay, Stratos is a good summon here. It's gonna start yeeting some back row, and that's a non-target destruction.
I'd like to point out how like on point these pairings have been for openers. Like one team pretty much guessed the other opener. They sent in, you know, Christian was the opening deck. The other team was
treacherous trap hole, monkey boy.
Oh no.
That is not gonna destroy anything. Stratos is a little bee.
That's pretty wild. Still though, I do need to give some credit to this because these are really good initial picks and counter picks. Because there was a Christian opener to counter what I assume they guessed was going to be Sabers. Sabers is like, all right, we're going to lose to Christian, so we're doing DM, and then Christian's like, all right, we're going to maybe lose to DM, so they go Hero. Like, that's wild.
Yeah, this is definitely some high-level team-based Yu-Gi-Oh! That we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And also, I got to point out, no mask changes.
Oh, my lord!
Oh, there's the Cosmic now.
That's what. Now, what
so
are
no mask
the remaining
changes,
cards?
But we do have the Cosmico.
Now Malicious has already been used.
Malicious? Show him your effect. He does have a
So
poly.
Poly and
it's not Trinity, so not enough cards.
Yeah, Poly was searched last turn.
Still, look at the card advantage.
I mean, yes, but also, like, there's no circle on board, and DM doesn't have a super concrete way to deal with 2800s beyond circle banish. So, I mean, you're not wrong, but we'll see what DM can recover.
That's both semi-limits down for Lavis as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point, Tretch and Master Dark Illusion. Alright, now set 1. Set 2. Now, realistically, these sets are either going to be CC or other copies of Nav, which none of which really do much, or a dead copy of. Well, no, there's only one Tretch that you can run because Master Dark Illusions is other. So yeah, not anything super threatening getting set here. Now, heroes don't have a Celestial setup.
Yeah, so he's not going to be able to plus as easily.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to recover very much is the big thing. But for now, at least, he's just kind of chill.
Yeah, I mean, if he rips a mask change as well, he as long as he can get rid of a Dark Magician on the board, he doesn't have to worry about the.
Stratos gonna pop one because screw it, why not?
And it was a Cosmic Cyclone, as stated by Monkey Boy.
Yep, hits the CC.
And the Adoration gonna get the reduction.
Is gonna go ahead and push through the monsters.
And now, in terms of card advantage, we're all tied up.
Seems to be no delay on that backer either, so maybe a dead Nav, if anything. Another new set.
Drowning Mirror Force, probably.
Classic Drowning, yeah, indeed. Could be a magic deflector to stop any mask changes, you know. Or, you know, magic deflector to negate any CCs that would come to his circle, while also simultaneously negating his circle for the turn and defeating the purpose.
True. Big brain.
Woo that in chat. I do have the new box I'm not wildly impressed with it, but I had like 8k expiring gems, so I just kind of I
You already
needed
had
something.
spellbooks?
I what? Who?
So you also had spellbooks from the past?
Yeah. Though I am short on a high priestess or two. I skipped over that so I could get everything. Yeah. But
Yeah, just use temperance.
honestly, like I'm curious to see how spellbooks shake out if there is going to be a viable build.
Field spells nice for sure.
I've messed with Evil Eye the most out of anything. I've barely touched Witchcrafter yet. I just haven't really had the time. Although I know a lot about like what they do at least. I just haven't messed with them much myself. And then Spellbook, I'm still a couple levels away. My Carly was at level 1, so I'm a couple levels away from Field Spell. Where I can really mess with that. I heard, who were you casting with earlier? Was it Hype?
Hypebeast, yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned the same thing.
Wait, you watched earlier? You watched my stream?
I saw some of it. I didn't have too much time to hang out and like in the chat, but I was doing some listening.
Oh, nice.
I was like, hey, that's my friend.
Were you like on the treadmill listening?
Not on the treadmill. I can't remember what I was doing.
Elliptical?
Busy being depressed from a tough loss this week, or this morning more so.
Oh, right. I was like, way to bring down the...
I know.
I thought you were talking about like somebody kicked off.
Oh, no!
I was like,
no, a tough team.
Keep it light.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Most of my family died, but I don't care about that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not as important as, you keep...
Yeah. Yeah. No, Wula, do you, in chat, do you have any decks that you've been focusing on real quick? I just wanted to follow up before I forget about them.
Well, don't leak his public chat. Don't tell them what we've been working on in the back.
Please leak. Leak all over me. Wait.
TOS. Oh, it looks like now we're back to see Stealth Attack Cristrons, this time from BlessRNG, as Frost is bringing it in. Wulad says he didn't even buy the new box.
Yeah, I'm loving the Talladega Nights references in chat too. F2P. Yeah, I would call this box a skip if you're not looking to
Actually, the Egg is famous for his Talladega Nights references, especially when he's playing, because he doesn't know what to do with his hands.
That was pretty good. That was a sick burn. I like it, man. I'm waiting for a what the from Egg in the chat, or maybe an unsubscribe.
It's completely unprovoked as well. Completely unfair. He did nothing to deserve that, and here we are.
Man, poor Egg. He's a good sport. I love him.
He is.
Appreciate that he puts up with our crap. All right, though.
To be honest, there's actually a chance that his hearing aid wasn't turned up and he didn't even hear it.
It could be the case. We'll see if he responds. Hard to say until then. Truth. I like to think Truth was about... I know it was about Lotso's point, but I like to think it was about the hearing aid.
I think it's probably about the not knowing what to do with his hands.
Yeah, maybe that.
They bully because they
bully him because we fear him. Yeah, Lightning, I think I might agree with that. It's a good box, just doesn't offer anything stronger than we already have, just a little bit weaker. I think my general 2 cents on the box is it's interesting and the decks feel a little bit unsolved. Most all of them are kind of wide open decks. Evil Eye's a little bit more like linear and a little bit solved as far as build. Books and Witchcrafter both feel a little bit more like there's a lot of directions you could take them, and maybe we just need to find a correct one. Kind of like how heard an analogy of like how Buster Blader didn't really work until people figured out Last Gamble with. But yeah, I agree. In current state, they both feel like they have some kind of glaring weaknesses.
Maybe Last Gamble is perhaps the way to play even Witchcrafter.
I don't know, man.
You shuffle back your Vare, you bring it back.
Honestly, if Last Gamble was still a discard instead of a back to deck, that would actually be really strong in
if you roll a 6 and you draw enough spells, you're killing anybody. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. And Hervel, I wouldn't say that these decks fully suck. They just feel like not quite there, but they feel like they have more potential than other decks that like blatantly suck. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you look at a deck and you're like, yeah, you're like ninjas in 2020. Like this isn't gonna do anything. This box is scared. I'm sorry, Heinz, but I gotta say it. You know, we got that ninja mini box and it was like, it was just a blatant like, all right, whatever, like don't care, not even gonna attempt. These decks
don't
are
disrespect
like,
my
there's
ninjas.
like a lot of I mean,
I ride for my ninjas. I die for my ninjas.
I'm real nervous about the direction of this conversation. But yeah, no, I don't know. There's just like these decks feel like they feel like they're kind of worth a shot. They just don't feel like they're able to consistently do enough yet to be relevant. So I don't know.
Sorry, my friend DLL's in the chat. You can get away with it.
Maybe. Right,
oh my god! Oh, again, we have a set Gen X controller from.
Oh my god! What have we been ignoring? I was gonna point out earlier when these two decks opened up that, you know, I would say Christian I think is favored versus just most anything in the meta right now. I think it's just a matter of like how much so. But that being said, it can be beaten by several things. I think Hero is something that can beat Crystron if they get a powerful explosive opening and Crystron opens a little slower, especially like this extra slow.
I mean, See You Later is the obvious best skill, and so far all we've seen is C Stealth Attack.
Is that your personal preferred skill? See You Later?
I honestly, man, I just like playing stuff that does fancy things and clicks a lot of buttons. So See You Later is good for me, whereas C Stealth Attack is just like a helmet.
Yeah, that's fair. See You Later is probably a little bit more, I guess, interesting and explosive of a build. I feel like if I was a Crystron player, that'd probably be what I would lean toward as well. Never been a huge, like, slow grind control type player.
Yeah, I like to just, you know, slap my board until my opponent just gets tired of watching me play without them.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I genuinely dislike my opponent getting to play things.
Bring back Bamboo FTK. Yeah. That's what we're saying. I say this all the time. I can't say it enough. That was the healthiest the game has ever been. Bring it back.
Monkey Boy played only Red Eye Zombie for like 2 years, doesn't even know what control means. Hey, he put a storm in there, buddy.
Dude, Red Eye Zombie is such a cool deck. Throwback to that. Big fan. Alright, so slowly plucking away at life points here. At this point, should be able to swing with Adoration next turn and get lethal over anything, unless there's a real defensive follow-up play that Frost is able to make.
And we do see a special summon from the Praziordal, so we might actually get to see some plays here.
Possibly.
It's a Ryan. That is a set up Amatrix.
Okay.
And a set face down. We actually might be able to see some plays here. The board is all clogged up from Itachi, so unless he top decks a Plasma, might actually get to see some plays.
Just maybe. And if one of those sets is a C Stealth Attack, that actually could be really tough as well. There is nothing on Itachi's board that really deals with C Stealth.
I mean, he is playing what you have to suspect is Sealed Tombs, and really, Hero's just so often playing 3 Cosmic Cyclones. Wouldn't be too difficult in most situations to out a C Stealth Attack. He is going on the defensive, though. Definitely doesn't want to get hit so hard that he can't use the thing that I just said. Cosmic. Yeah. There we go.
There it is. Wulad, to your point earlier when you said greedy attack, I assume was about the what's his name, Ferris swinging into that face down, which ended up being the Praziordal. I don't know if I'd call that greedy. I mean, Ferris swings over most Crystrons when they especially are reduced by SSA, and then
This thing's
So, like,
actually,
as long as you
it
can
ties
swing
with the
most of them.
Smiger and doesn't get over the Prezi so.
Yeah. But in general, I don't know. I think it's kind of correct to play for lethal there, maybe. Although I don't know. I guess if he would have gone for 2600, if he just swung over with Adoration and did 26 with the other two, he would be a lot closer to a Anki OTK just from swing and direct. Be top to mask.
Another set in the monster card zone from Cristrons. That is ugly. And one thing that's noteworthy too is Amatrix has an essentially empty grave right here. It has nothing to float into.
True, actually.
Apologize about barking
does-
dogs. I think my girlfriend's getting a little too excited in the back. No, she's not a
we
dog. I
forgive
just mean
you.
she's getting the dogs excited like she's playing with them. No, she's
We
beautiful.
love the dogs
I
here.
don't know
I'm
if she
sure.
can hear me. Oh, there they go.
Oh no. It's alright. I'll fill in. I'll be entertaining for moments. But no, yeah, to Heinz's point, the Amatrix doesn't have anything to be able to float into, but granted, that only really comes into play if if both those sets are not Sea Stealth attack, because otherwise Amatrix probably is not going to be destroyed by battle, which is really Hero's primary out to anything. There's a Sea Stealth attack. Yep.
The Shit7, thanks for the follow on my channel.
Nice.
Go.
He didn't follow me on my non-existent channel.
Well, that's actually not as helpful right now. Huh. I mean, it looks good though.
No. It looks nice. As far as what it's actually gonna do, we'll see. Does dodge. Think that just loses.
Yeah, I'm not really actually sure how Itachi's gonna get through this one.
Yeah, because Amatrix just comes back, and then Plasma died.
Nasco change. Oh, that's away.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
I mean, unless that is just Impact set. I mean, Impact or a Lance, either one of those could have done something. But if it's a Cosmic...
Or a second SSA. Are you gonna go through?
It does! Oh my gosh!
Oh
Itachi
my
is nuts!
Okay, let's go. That was pretty hype. Nice.
I mean, that game went on a lot longer than we had expected. A Saki deck like Heroes was held off that long by Frost, you know, with the stealth attack.
No.
He bricked hard, and he lasted way longer than we would expect.
Yeah, I mean, he just, like, Heroes was slowed down by the fact that they just couldn't get access to most any of their, you know, more impactful things.
Yeah, you have to suspect that this is going to be a repeat from BlessRNG here. The Egg saying it in the chat that it's a sure thing. He's putting money down on it. And Shao's does say in the match chat that it will be a repeat.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be lit. Suspicious that Egg's so confident. You know, it's almost as though he's rigging these men.
He's one of the script writers.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Script writers usually don't, you know, show their knowledge that often of the script. Egg doesn't care, man.
No. Have you ever seen him cast? He'll literally tell you the play before it happens.
That's true.
And some people think he's insightful, but
He
it's
just
just
knows
they
the
don't know about the
script.
script.
He's just looking there line by line. He's like, and next.
Yeah, exactly. He's just, and in his hand.
Egg's over here like watching the opening of a duel. He's like, I think it looks like this player bricked. There's like no cards on the field yet, but he's like,
Yeah, it's his opponent. Like it's turn one. He's like looking at the blue players waiting to play. He's like, I think the red player bricked. It's my world famous Egg impression. This little whippersnapper Mako Tsunami, he done did a brickaroni. You kids get off my lawn!
Eggs over here having a good time with us. Appreciate it. Alright, heroes trying to set up that initial board, making their kind of one primary turn one choice, which is, do you want to go into Bion earlier rather than later or not? Does opt to go for the early option, making sure you can search out that poly without having Bion destroy. Goes into, or sends off the Mally, which is, I don't know, unless he has Celestial in hand, I feel like maybe I would have gone Celestial, but could be wrong.
Did he put 2 malicious in the grid? No, he just got the 1.
Yeah, he's just got the 1. He just chose to not set up Celestial, which, I mean, he wants the Mally for recovery options, which is fair. But, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of ways to, especially if you have Poly, to be able to top deck
top
it.
decks it.
Well, you can top deck it, but at that point you have Poly searched out, so you can just fuse it off into Grave. Or same with like Stratos, you can search it out, fuse it off.
This is true. Do you play a lot of heroes?
So I didn't have the deck until somewhat recently, probably like 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then I definitely went all in on kind of learning, you know, playstyle matchups, all of that. I've always been a huge hero fan, right? Like I used to love them when they were like OG hero. I had some kind of interesting techs that let me do pretty well in some events with balance heroes when it was a thing. So I think maybe a good Team Wars performance or two with something like that. And then, you know,
I really like the OG fusion masked heroes with
yeah, man,
like restart.
Dangerous and restart.
I actually played dual standby a lot with hatred nades, and just 1-for-1 trades on like with offerings to the doomed. Just because like if you just hatred nade and offerings to the doomed, your opponent doesn't have anything. This was way back, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Normal summons were important.
Yeah. It was a cool deck, man. Also, Wulad, was it drowning, or I swear I want to say it was WAD. I feel like I know the duel you're talking about. It was a meta weekly, maybe like a top cut. But yeah, because I used to be on WAD and Balance Hero for a while, because that was during the meta where it was Balance Hero and then that like wallet control deck with Armades and Breaker and stuff, and people would like nobody was on WAD at that time, so no one's playing around it, and everybody who played wallet control would just get greedy. They'd swing with Armades first and be like, ah, cool, like everything goes through obviously, and they like might as well swing, and then you just retroactively, you know, reduce Armades attack to nothing and Breaker's attack to nothing.
Even still, that was actually one of the grossest meta pairings. Just wallet control versus heroes. Just who wins? DD Assailant set or
wallet control in general was pretty. I don't know. It's a weird mashup deck of expensive stuff. Yeah, I didn't have the cards for it. Unfortunately, I'm usually missing some kind of important UR. Spend money on the game, but I don't like hard whale every box personally.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Itry into attack and fake several back row here. Cyclone onto the only back row from Crystron. Taking out the impact.
Greg says didn't have DD Assailant, so used the free-to-play wind-up juggler. I think my deck used both. I think I had 2 and 2 in there.
Sound familiar, yeah.
And then the good old 3 junk synchrons. I like junk synchron, man. I wish that would come back and do something good.
That was a cool card. Dropped in like that was a mini box card, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the same mini box as it was Armades, junk synchron something, I think.
AFD.
No, it was before that. I don't know. I can't remember now.
I want to say it was AFD, but I also can't remember if
I
Ancient Fairy
know.
Dragon came out with Power Tool or not.
Yeah, I can't
I
remember.
don't know, man. They all blend together. If
Got
anybody
too many
knows in
boxes
chat,
now.
no. Yeah. All right, though. Citree doing its thing to pull out a level 3. Goes into Amatrix, switches things to defense. Nothing super new here.
And you know, once again, we've seen heroes make their way to turn 6.
Yeah, we have. I believe that on their previous turn, not the one we just saw, but the one before, heroes use sealed tombs. So they've already burned that resource, which typically you really only want to do if you are able to OTK.
Oh, he's yeeting the Amatrix.
Self-eating.
I think we got to see our good friend Rosenix come back from the grave. Oh, no, he's not even going to use the Amatrix effect.
I have a feeling he's going into a new synchro.
Go Quarian Gandrax, baby.
Yep.
These guys look like Power Rangers Zords.
They kind of do, actually. I don't, like, are Krishan supposed to be just, like, rock mechs, or, like, I don't, they're water machines, but, like, are they based on, like, crystals, or, like, I don't,
I guess.
I've just never fully understood exactly what Krishans are supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Crystron token. It has, like, fuses on it. And a Cosmic Cyclone going to just show him what he's got. And Itachi goes down to Frost, and the game moves to 2-3 on the scoreboard, still in favor of Death Row.
Yeah. So, Heroes, I think, can very much potentially win that matchup, but they need to make a very high-impact play. Either Plasma, that sucks up a monster that essentially gets them over 2,500 after the boost, or they need to make an OTK play with Tombs. I think you really have to save Tombs for an OTK. And that's not to say that that was misused in this situation. Like, he might just not have had enough cards. He was really not able to see Mask very often in his last couple duels, so that's a factor as well.
Yeah, it definitely came up in the first duel, but the second one wasn't very wasn't so lucky, and it was really late in that first one too. So Wayne says as long as Kagami doesn't have to play, Death Row should win.
Wayne and Kagami are friends, so there's some
imagine.
friendly crap being given. Aquaglider in chat earlier mentioning probably crystals or limestone, kind of like rock or machines made of rock and amphibious cave. I think that makes sense. Zeko coming in with Shadow Game. Lol, calling it now. I mean, could. Not the worst option. Witchcrafter should typically beat Hero, so. Good deck to interrupt a combo deck like that. Or wait, Hero's what lost. Sorry, I'm crazy. Crystron. Yeah. Witchcrafter or Evil Eye should be able to deal with Crystron pretty reasonably, at least.
She is 3-2. That is correct, Aquaglider. Yeah. I was actually just having a brief word with the wife. So, and Itachi is 1-1, or Frost is 1-1 rather.
Sir.
Sorry if it came off as I was ignoring you, Mr. Boy.
No, you're all good. Just chatting through some things with chat and some options on what could come. Got people in here thinking maybe Witchcrafter.
Witchcrafter would definitely be cool to see. I would like to see something new come through from this war. I do know that a lot of the players on both teams are famous for cooking up some spice and bringing it to competitive events. So
Yeah, it's just tough with some of these new decks, I think, because they I don't know, what am I trying to say? They, for a Team Wars format, they're really good at countering a couple specific decks. So if you're really worried about, like for instance, especially Crystron, they both beat Crystron well, then it's good to bring that in to stop your team from being steamrolled by that, if that's a worry. But the other side of that sword is like, they have some pretty glaring weaknesses in terms of their overall matchup spread. So like they're likely to go 1-for-1 and then, you know, not do much more than that, at least in their current form. Evil Eye looking spicy. Witchcrafter can be tricky because SSA is hard to out, so if they go into that, it can be difficult.
what does Evil Eye do to see stealth attack? Does it just lose, or does it make your monsters invulnerable with the equip or something?
Yeah, so the equip prevents your monster, once you get it set up, prevents your monster from being destroyed by battle or effect, and it can't be targeted. So, I mean, that's obviously a huge advantage. You can't get Query unbanished. If they Amatrix you to defense and swing, you can't be destroyed by battle. So they really need a Cyclone to out that. I guess they also like couldn't Brionic bounce you. And then Evil Eye has access to a trap that they can search, and if they play pretty well and pretty specifically, they can actually recycle as well. But typically they run it as a 3-of trap, kind of like a dual wield, but just for monsters. So essentially they can just like end phase bounce, you know, Crystron's before they synchro or anything, or get rid of synchros.
So we see Yusei Fudo coming through with a triple set from, I guess Hexter's on the bottom, eh? He's got to switch spots on me. Always a fan.
Well, Hexter's on the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. But yeah, Frost going first. Probably gonna set up some SSA things. This Fern.
And straight away, we have
yeah,
position navigation, I guess, to bring out a Kaiku to stop that Fistburn search.
It's interesting, but fair. Banish out Scrap Recycler, I guess. Soph in hand, that's tough.
You say he was going to banish the Scrap Recycler?
Yeah, I was assuming there was a circle and there's not a circle on field, so, you know,
so
my apologies.
full combo, it just doesn't even register that it's not there.
Yeah, I just kind of generally assume that it's there, but yeah. In that case, he's the nav, because, you know, at that point, what else are you going to do? Might as well hope you can stop your opponent from comboing off, which makes sense. 2 more sets, though, from DM, so it could be additional navs, could be Cyclone, which is generally helpful here. See what he's able to cook up. I'm interested.
Swagnitis says, Dark Magician skill start with a circle on the field when?
God, please no. If there's anything this deck needs, it is certainly not for you to have to try less. Oh my gosh. Nav banishes just freaking cut, and then opens up room for Trachos to be used in draw phase before Citri's able to respond.
Yeah,
and
just to touch on that, it was a very nice play, using the draw phase before the Citri has its effect live.
Yep.
And the Kaiku just doing even more damage. Really solid counter pick here from Death Row.
Yeah, and played super well as well. Like it, you know, it makes a lot of the plays make even more sense than I think they already did. Because now, you know, especially he was like, look, if I can just slow him down like enough to where he's only got 2 monsters on field, like I just win. And he did. So that's cool.
Alright, so the next player from BlessRNG will be coming in. And they still have a Restar, Hype Beast, and Shows.
Yep. Bless very, very slowly bleeding out just a little bit. You know, each player going 1 and 2. I would say it's nothing, you know, horrible, nothing that Bless can't come back from. But just worth noting. We'll see if that trend kind of continues, or if any Bless players are able to pull it back, catch him up, or pull him ahead.
Well, that's saying you say grew up on the streets. That's true, and it taught him that all of his cards have value.
True.
Yeah, it's like they, BlessRNG, they had really good counter picks, and then their opponents also did, and sometimes that's just how the matches can go early on, and until somebody streaks, and right now Bless needs it to be them.
Yeah, agreed. They're definitely hoping to be able to make some kind of comeback here. You know, we've seen a lot of Christian kind of back and forth, so I'm curious how quickly both of these teams are going to burn through. How many Christians they opt to bring.
Yeah, I mean, Crystron has to be one of those popular decks right now, as I do believe Gift got #1 global using almost exclusively Crystrons.
Yep, that's a thing. I think in addition, like, Crystrons are just the only deck that doesn't feel mildly inconsistent right now, or at least one of the only decks that doesn't feel mildly inconsistent.
Yeah, and it's funny that we say that too, because, you know, we have seen 2 players open up by setting a Gen X controller.
True.
But I would say part of that isn't just because, you know, they're playing the C Stealth Attack variant, which is inherently brickier. There are more Garnets in that deck.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely are. That being said, Crystron is still a wildly consistent deck. They're able to run a lot of copies of starters and just kind of make some things happen with those. I think we've seen actually a pretty rare instance of several Crystron hard bricks in close succession. But definitely can happen in any deck.
Yeah, we're just lucky like that. We just get to see those kinds of things happen more often.
I know. Do you think we'll be back to normal this time around with like a 10? Been a bit.
It's as if over time, what's happening is the average number of games is going down in the matches that we cast. So eventually, we're gonna get a 10-0.
Think?
Yeah, probably this time next year.
All right. I'll hold you to that. We'll see. If it doesn't happen, I'll call you a liar and sue you for libel, slander, one of them.
You know, I don't have that much faith in your memory, so I'll take you up on that.
What the? All right, deal. You know what?
This man's about to set an alarm on his phone.
I was gonna say iPhone setting a reminder right now.
To
1
the
year.
cloud.
Stored in the cloud. Beam me up.
Alright, so we have Xiao's coming through, and he has Zane Truesdale. And you got to assume that this is Cyber Dragons, right?
Sir. So we'll see, you know. Well, now we know the deck count, but I was going to say, you never know, it could be Rock Deck. He's always, you know, fun, spicy meme.
Yeah, unfortunately not the best of matchups coming in against Dark Magician. So hopefully Xiao's has that as a deck #2.
Yeah, no, I would imagine with 20 cards, this is probably Sidra, which is a pretty solid matchup versus Dark Magician. A lot of ways to just demolish back row.
Spike says Master of Fusion Luna Lights one time. That would be a solid counter pick.
Could be.
And you know, they did get some support by way of Predaplants.
Wasn't Wayne playing the Predaplant Luna deck?
He was indeed. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, his was unfortunately negated by Madame Bear, but it definitely would have been cool to see him drop that Predaplant Chlamydia. Oh, Heat Wave!
Oh boy.
That's usually the Cyber Dragon trick.
He's doing the Heat Wave DM. Alright.
This man said, okay, don't summon an effect monster. So no core APK.
You know what? I mean, Cyber Dragon could still be okay. CC. Oh, onto a, I guess,
it had to be dead navigation because he could special summon 2 normals.
No, Heat Wave prevents that. So it was dead because of Heat Wave.
Special summon effect monsters? Yeah, Effect Monster. He
Oh,
could've
you're
done
right.
two
You
normals.
could have done 2. Yep. Okay.
My card text knowledge is
Yeah, good catch.
I know my one-ups. That's one thing for sure.
Not much of a heat wave guy myself, so can't say I've played it too often recently. But yeah, it's really good. So now we're chilling. Technically, I think I want to say you could use Cyberstyle. I actually don't know. I haven't tested that, but I know Cyberstyle places and doesn't summon.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure
not-
he can.
He can.
I imagine the skills don't even interact with card effects.
cards,
so
yeah.
I imagine. And I mean that looks like it was probably a pretty hard brick then from Hexter based on what we just saw.
Yeah, man.
And looks like Shao's just gonna set 2 and end it right there. He doesn't care about the side throw style.
Yeah, he says I'm fine.
Now
That's okay.
speaking of heat waves, classic small talk. How's the weather over there in the Midwest, sir?
It's it's good. We've had some. We actually haven't gotten hit by. Usually we get hit by like, especially in Nebraska over here, we get hit by like super hot and very very humid days,
That's what
which
we got right
sucks.
now.
But we haven't really had a ton of bad humidity or like absurd heat. It's been mostly like 80s, 90s, like low 90s, which is doable. Mostly 80s. So yeah, I'll take it. Nights are really nice. How about you?
Hot.
Hot.
Getting hit with a heat wave.
Unpleasant. Dang.
I had to take my dog to the vet last Thursday.
Yeah.
And the vet was only like a 20-minute walk away, so we're like, yeah, let's just walk it. And like
Ooh.
on the way back, because it was early in the morning, but on the way back it was just sweltering.
Ooh, yeah. It's tough. Dang.
Try to use that to get some exercise, and then you're like, oh, Jesus, it's disgusting.
Like, I regret everything. So, yeah.
My thighs are dripping.
Heinz, don't turn me on like that. Come on.
So he's going straight up illusion magic right now. He's opting not to give his opponent a bigger cyber style.
He's doing it.
You gotta think, with a slow start like that from Dark Magician, Xiao's in a great spot using Cyber Dragons.
Yeah, man.
Even though we don't see any monsters, with 2 cards still in the hand, he only set 2.
Oh my gosh.
And still no circle from Dark Magician, 2 sets in the back.
Okay. End phase.
Now we do know that Hexter plays Treacherous Trap Hole. You know, I've played a lot of games with Xiao's too. I know he's a very aware player. Sometimes to the point of being too aware that he actually ends up running out his timer. But he's definitely very good at knowing, you know, his opponent's options very well. He reads delays beautifully. A second Prismatic Cosmic Cyclone coming in from Xiao's.
Hey, can we acknowledge these Prismas? Man went in on the selection box.
I can tell you for sure that he does have 3 Prismatic Cosmic Cyclones.
Oh my. That's a good Prisma. Cyclone is just a card that has been relevant since it released in like 2017.
Was it that far back? It was a while ago. It
Um,
was the OG Gladiator Beast box, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was probably like the like 6th or 8th pop. Super early.
That's why both of these Cosmics have hit traps, so if there is a Tretch back there, it's still active. And we do have 2 OG Dark Magicians come through here.
Sir. Just thinking. Trying to figure out if he can get over both these DMs and through the back row. Now he does have a Cyber Style for 2 live, so if he does have access to a fusion card, whether it be Fusion Gate or the Quick Play Cyber Dragon Fusion, could go into Cyber Twin, in which case I think really the only worry is just that back row.
Yeah, I think he's probably, you know, I doubt he's listening to the stream, but you know, he's got to be thinking of the. What was I about to say? He's got to be thinking about that treacherous that we saw earlier.
Yeah, treacherous, or maybe depending on how much tech space this DM has, could be running like a Karma Cut, Raigeki Break type card as well. That'd be no good for Sidra either.
Yeah, we did see Yawnstorm win the PCT this week. Cyber Dragon Core comes from the hand for Shouse. And he was playing 2 Raigeki Break in his Ties That Bind Dark Magician. Now this would be a good look for Shouse here. He'd be able to see delays as he summons out that Proto Cyber Dragon, or that Cyber Dragon Core. And he does add an overflow. It looks like he might not have access to any fusions, so he's just going to go ahead and set the overflow.
Yep, I think maybe that...
And it was a Dredge!
Oh my gosh, Dredge, okay. Now that makes that a really good play. Right.
And keep in mind, too, that Proto Cyber Dragon, not a Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, only while it's on the field.
Is it still a Cyber Dragon monster for Trap, though?
Cyber Dragon Trap needs Cyber Dragons, but the
it does.
fusion
Yep,
spell
you're
for
right.
Rampage needs Cyber Dragon +1 Cyber Dragon monster, I believe.
Yeah, you're correct.
And they also have to all be different levels. So let's see what we have here from Xiao's triple set in the back. He still has 1 card in hand. You know, we could theoretically still see an overflow for 2. And he just takes the hit like that.
Yeah. It's tough. I don't know if there's really a way for Xiao's to push through that, to be honest. I mean, he
Just
basically had to
opened the
search
one-up
Trap
trench,
for spell. Yeah. Yeah, man. We've seen that Tretch pay off for DM a few too many times now.
I mean, he's only played twice. He's opened it both times.
Yeah. Xiao's got Rock Deck in the back. Let's see it one time.
So we could theoretically still see a repeat. It looks like Xiao's is typing, and he is going to burn that second repeat.
Yep.
BlessRNG.
Which is fair. I mean, 3rd player, 2 repeats down. Not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use it. Dark Magician is one of those decks that can just kind of cut through some decks in your team, so you really need to get that thing out of there.
Yeah, I mean, my rule in general is really just like, I don't know, use them when you have them, right? There's no guarantee that every pair is even going to be able to use the repeat if just the first deck of that pair happens to win. So, you know, saving them, you potentially just save them for nothing. Or, most importantly, though, I think you just have to deal with a deck that's in front of you.
Yeah, I definitely think that's probably the best way to look at it. You don't want to be looking at your resources as so valuable that you never use them, and then they're overall just useless. He opened up the Heat Wave again.
Oh my, we were always opening all the one-of techs. Okay. Sets, though. Now, I guess the interesting thing about Heatwave in this matchup is that it does slow down Cyber Dragon's searching, even more so than like their ability to, you know, just put monsters on board. Like, they do slower and lesser access to that, which means they're kind of a little laggy in terms of being able to get their setup going.
Yeah, definitely, and that's funny though, because also Cyber Dragons is one of the decks that does play Heatwave, at least in the builds that are running, you know, a little bit heavier on the fusion support and everything. Hey, hit that Trek! It was the one-of. He opened it
always
again.
Opens the one-ofs. This man is a monster.
That's 3 in a row on the Tretch.
That's insane.
2 in a row on the Heatwave. Xiao's got a normal set. It could be a Cyber Dragon Veer, which isn't a terrible set here.
Agreed.
Scorpion asking, does Heatwave block the skill? We asked earlier, and I said no. Flabber also saying no.
we were talking about it earlier. I assume not. Partially because, like Heinz mentioned, skills typically don't interact with cards, and then the other thing is that skills actually, especially Cyberstyle was the first notable one for this, but Cyberstyle's text reads that it places monsters on field, which is explicitly different than summoning or special summon. Because it means you can't like respond to it or anything, which is kind of a skill thing too, but you know. Sets one. Still thinking.
So I also want to point out that
That's back row. Sets another back row.
Our esteemed referee, Alex Dopau, the bread man, he went to ping me for the repeat to let me know that it happened, and he accidentally pinged Hazy. Just pinged the head ref. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
I saw that in the team chat. Hazy's like, "Hey." So circle coming out, gonna rip a nav.
And important to note that Shao's didn't just immediately Cosmic Cyclone that circle off the board, so you got to expect. That's the thing, Egg, is actually, it is funny. It does technically special summon them, but it does place them. So what's interesting about it is that it'll place them even so Heatwave does it doesn't affect. It's not affected by Heatwave. But if you were to summon a Crystron Amatrix, and it switches all special summon monsters to defense, it will do that. Isn't that neat?
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, there it is. There's the card. Here's the thing.
Cybernetic Overflow. Just yeets the one, it's the Navigasian. And I'm thinking that's going to be a GG Cyberload Fusion. The repeat paying off for Shao's.
Yes, sir. Now, do we think that he should have... I guess I don't know that it would have mattered, but I was going to say, do we think he should have summoned? If he could have.
Like the Proto earlier?
No, the off of Nav.
Yeah, I suppose we don't know if he could have. Yeah, that's really the kicker. And that's going to be it. Shao's takes it, moving the score to 3-5. And Shao's not 0-2, so feels good, man. Just as a friend of Shao's. And you know, one other thing about Shao's too is playing a deck that's presumably running 3 Cosmic Cyclones. We didn't actually see Shao's open up all 3, which has been has happened to him twice in Team Wars already.
I think we had I think TZ in our war this morning, we had one Cyber Dragon game that we played where we opened 2 Fusion Gate, 2 Cyclone maybe, or 2 Fusion Gate, 2 something, I don't remember. We basically couldn't make it. Wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, it's one of those just annoying things that can just happen.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Egg, to your comment earlier, a bit earlier, asking about if the skill special summons. No, the skill does not specify, or Cyberstyle does not specify that it special summons. It just says play, which is,
you know, when he used the skill, I meant to click it, and I didn't.
Oh, dang.
Because I have the big dumb.
Well, we'll probably see it again another time. Still more Cyber Dragons to come here.
Yeah, and you know what? Hexter seems to have brought Destiny Draw Element Saber Invoked, which I would say is a matchup in favor of Cyber Dragons here. Yeah,
I would say it's super coin flip, honestly. But yeah, in general, I mean, Cyber Dragon can potentially just blow through with some, or can blow through all the back.
Dude, he set 1.
Yeah, you really just want to pray you can get to Casitas early, but if you can't, then you're in a pretty tough spot. Or at least Casitas plus Casitas or some good back row if you go first.
The heck is a Buns 22? You change your name? He hasn't always been Buns 22, has he?
I actually don't know.
Ooh, regular Cyber Dragon coming through.
Okay. Okay, core. Oh, okay.
Alright. Well, I know you're buns. You got a sword in your buns.
And I'm 22. Buns out here just repping his age, man. Were you always Buns 22, though?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Vera makes a really good point. What happens when you turn 23? Do you have the other accounts unlocked?
I changed to buns 23.
Buns 23.
I don't know what we were expecting.
Oh, my. And you think I'm Edu? That is Edu's number, huh?
Why not just, like, make it your birth year?
Nah. Because then you don't get to change every year. That's boring. Alright, swings in to just the Malayu.
Molehu. Must be a spherical Rebo in that hand, right?
Possibly, probably. I guess depends unless Cyber Dragon held on to some kind of quick play. They did add fusion. I'm guessing they preset it, but
Playing around the potential back row sets from Hexter.
yes, sir. See what Hex is able to go into here. Gonna guess it's changed to water. Yep. Alistair in hand was not the newly drawn card, so had it the whole time debating this whole game.
Now, Shao's his big brain. He's about to flip up in a pointer of Red Lotus. That's one way to trigger Cyber Style. No, guess not.
It's one way to trigger your opponent. You know?
Kazamixi Clone.
Okay. Pretty good use of Cosmic Cyclone. Especially since, depending on what you fuse into, you know, you can pop some back row otherwise. And Hex seems to not really have any back row this time around, so.
Arcthor asking what is Shao's hand as if I would know.
Yeah, Heinz, why don't you tell us already, man?
He's got two Carlys. So they're both obviously bad cards. He's going in with the Casitas. Imagine if he has that concentrated current. Hexter has been the sack master so far.
There's no way. There's no way. They can't be with this delay.
Egg, I actually don't have the powers.
My.
Oh, but a current from Shao's. I guess he's playing around. No, he let the. Oh! Oh, Shao's just slapped this boy around.
That was wild.
It was a current, but not on the side that we thought.
I don't think either of us meant current on that side of the board.
Oh my gosh.
Cyclone to stop
and
the
there's
Alistair
the
from
fusion
coming back.
gate.
Fusion gate.
And he's got the other core.
Another
this
core.
Is over,
heck
baby.
it. Why not? Oh my lord. Fusion support. Big wow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many Karibos you got, my friend.
Yeah, man.
You could burn them all, but you did.
Well, I suppose technically if he had like 3 Karibos, he might be.
Yeah, then he has no cards left. That's what I'm saying.
It's true. Fair point.
Now he does go Cyber and Dragon here, which is interesting with the fusion support using the fusion support rather. Cyber style. So here's gonna go the Rampage, gets the Protos out, and I'll click this here.
Oh, does this go double Rampage? It does, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so he's playing through 2 Kariba. This man's really going all the way in. Remember this is our opportunity to check the skill.
I already did.
Oh, he did. Nice.
Big smart. So now he sends the Cyber Dragon Core and the Veer, which are both treated as Cyber Dragons, in the graveyard. And here we will see the Cybernetic Fusion support activate. There we go. So he can use the graveyard as fusion materials, banishes those. Another Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon that can get another 2 attacks.
This is crazy.
And keep in mind, like, he forces one Karibo at least with the Cyber End Dragon, right? So if there was a Karibo, he forced it out. And it looks like he's just going to get that 4,000 attack. 3 fusion summons.
Like a mild delay, though. There could have been a Karibo.
There might have been, but I think he just sees the writing on the wall. He's like, you know what? I'll take the loss of the End Dragon.
Yeah,
Get
there's
the boss monster.
Can we just acknowledge that that was the wildest Cyber Dragon play I've maybe ever seen?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Sheer full force domination.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't think Hexter did anything wrong, per se. He left the cards off the board so he wouldn't get hit with a Cosmic. And he just... I mean, he still ended up getting hit with a Cosmic. Xiao's... He banished the Invocation so the Alistair wouldn't go back to the hand. He basically just said, I need you not to have 2. And the man didn't have it, and that Concentrating Current just ended it for him.
Yeah, that was really well played by Xiao's. Well done, my boy.
It was beautiful too, because it was hype with the current, and then Xiao's just built momentum up as
Xiao slapped every fusion monster in his extra deck onto the board and said, "Go ahead, have Karibo, have 2. Honestly, if you want to, have 3."
I'll be right back, Monkey Boy. Just carry the stream. Don't say anything racist, okay?
I'll try and contain myself. You know me. Yo, Godfather in chat, how we doing? Everybody else, give me some predictions, guys. Actually, we're 4-5 at this point, so things very much can go either way. I would say. I don't think any team is hard run away with this. So, who do we think's winning, Bless or Death Row? You know, Bless slowly starting to pull back some momentum. Could be a momentum shift there. Sometimes you see that happening. Yeah, Egg too close to call. I think that's a fair point. I agree. Key match coming soon. That's fair. Row. Okay. Give me even if you guys don't know who or don't know who's gonna win, give me some preferences at the very least. No arc, no win. Egg got the script. Egg does have the script. Aqua understands that it will go at least 10-8, as is standard for any match that Heinz and I cast. Almost any. So, true. Fair. Death Row 10-7. Okay. I mean, completely contradicts the 10-8 rule that Heinz and I have, but, you know, if you want to throw a wrong guess out there, I understand. That's fair.
I am back. So, Zeko used to be a BlessRNG teammate, so... This is a showdown between BlessRNG former player and current player.
Nice.
Actually, current
not
owner.
Bad. Not bad. We got an interesting matchup coming here for you. We got some Cyber Dragons versus yet another Kristrop. Popular deck of the format.
MA says Death Row is doing so much better without Cosmic on the team. Ow!
Oh my lord.
Toxic!
That was savage.
I saw one team, they had a player that's like super active in chats, like in Twitch chat and everything, and like kind of annoying sometimes. I saw the player hit transfer news, and I don't think the team has lost since. It was so funny to me.
Is that what? Can you re-say the very first part of that? I might have a guess, but.
Oh, just that there was a player that's very active in Twitch chats that can be annoying sometimes, and just talks a lot. And I saw their name hit transfer news, and they left their team, or was removed from their team. I'm not sure, but then the team hasn't lost since that player was removed, and it made me laugh.
I was talking about a similar situation with some other people earlier today. So
really?
I'm wondering if it was the same one or not. But,
Maybe,
you know.
I don't know. You can hit me in the DMs if you want.
I'm trying to remember the name. Here, let me give it a big think.
Okay. I'm not gonna throw public shade or anything.
No, we would never. Strictly private.
I'll throw private shade anytime. Cosmic Cyclone coming through from Shao's, hitting Zeko's alone back row. You have to suspect that's going to be the impact that he searched. It is indeed. Now, if you guys in the chat want to have some fun and name all the annoying players that have been kicked off teams, you guys go right ahead. I happily see what you guys think. Who's the most annoying player?
Mods, get ready. Man the hatches.
Lord Renger says Wower. Okay. Next up.
Well, I'll go ahead and drop somebody in chat for it.
Godfather. Hines? Okay, Hines makes sense. No, actually,
Shout out to Flips. I miss Flips, man. Legitimate shout out to him. Flips was wild and he was a character, but he kept things spicy, you know? You know what I think of when I think of Flips is I think of the days way back in Team Wars for any of you OG, you know, season 2, season 3ers, when we used to have handles for team, and they were pingable, just publicly. That was a thing that would always get some interesting chats going. Just everybody shows up for like an hour to hang out. Meanwhile, what do we got going on in here? Got a setup with a Citri. Just over here reading DMs from Heinz.
what the?
He's talking trash on everybody in chat right now.
Bro, don't leak what I said about Swagonitis.
Yeah, I would never let chat know that.
Actually, I'm pretty sure what I said about Swagonitis can't be said on stream. I think it would be immediately stricken by the Twitch gods. They probably.
No, I agree. Are we good to? Should we probably switch back over to the public voice chat though, where they can hear us?
Yeah. Luckily, they can't hear us here.
I know, those idiots. All right, we'll switch back.
Yeah,
I'll see you in there.
All right, guys. Sorry about that weird silence there. We do see a Samurai Destroyer come out from Zeko, which is a good play against Cyber Dragons.
Yes, sir.
You guys hear the Swagonitis says, "I heard you." Oh no!
Oh no!
You
We
said
didn't
bad
want you to hear
stuff.
that, Swag.
Oh no!
No, thanks for being a good sport.
I was looking for the closest teammate I could find that I could like say
Right. You're like, who can I like rail on that's not gonna take offense?
Yeah, I really was.
Around, yeah.
I don't know if Arctor's still here. Arctor would have taken it. It's a champ. So we do see the Ryan come out from the Sulfethmir here.
Float off Sulf, yes sir. That was a banish 1 off of Overflow to put Veer into the banish zone.
Now, Shadows does have access to Cyber Style here, right?
Should. Yeah, I don't believe he's used it up to this point, so it does give him some kind of flexible resources, if nothing else. Now, that being said, what can this Ryan go into? We'll take a look at that. He's got level 2 access, so he can do an Amatrix.
Yeah, he's got
3
Amatrix
access,
and
so
Powered
he can do
Insectron.
Yes, sir. So that's kind of problematic, you know?
I mean, it can be, for sure. I would say that if Shadows does have access to a fusion, at least a quick play, it wouldn't be as problematic. You can force the Ryan here with the Proto Cyber Dragon attack.
True. Not a bad point.
I mean, this is one thing I like about Ryan, though, is it's such a nice card for recycling your cards, putting them back in the deck just to be used at a later date, rather.
I know.
He is going to use the Prez Yordle.
Mm-hmm. So going to go into Amatrix.
And we did mention earlier that these Protos could be switched to defense position off that Ami. I don't think you would at this point, but hey, you could do it. Oh, he is going to do it. He's going to put them in defense position, even though a Samurai Destroyer, if it connects with a Proto Cyber Dragon at this point, would be lethal.
Step 1, switch to attack from Christians. Just swinging in, gonna try and get rid of these Protos.
Yeah, and once again, we'll just talk about the Proto Cyber Dragon, only treated as Cyber Dragon while on the field, not while in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm. Does lose the guaranteed one to Sam Destroyer by allowing an attack to begin. At that point, loses the other one to Amatrix. I wonder if he has access to any kind of fusion at this point, or if he's just living on a dream.
Yeah, I mean, really the only fusion that he can go into that's going to make any kind of impact here, it would have to be Cyber Twin Dragon. And, you know, we see Zekko's graveyard. He's got 2 Citries in there. Cybernetic fusion support coming up from Xiao's. So even if he runs over that Amatrix, it's going to float into a Citri, which can easily just make another Amatrix. He does have the Cyber Load Fusion, though.
There's also some kind of set card, which could either be an Impact or an SSA. SSA would be very problematic. Impact would be mildly.
Sea Stealth Attack wouldn't be so problematic at this point, as the Cyber Dragon, Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon will just pop it.
Yeah, true. Now that we're this far through and it hasn't been activated.
It was, of course, the Impact.
Yep. Summon back a Thistburn in this case. I think Smyger maybe was the other option.
This could be very good for Xiao's, actually. With that Thistburn coming back, if he has Concentrating Current, he can clear this board. Oh,
it's actually
clear the Synchros, anyway.
And
oh, actually, no, he can't. No, he can't. So, actually, what would have happened if he had swung in, he would have swung into the Amatrix. It could float into a Citri or a Sulfefnir, but as soon as he tried to make a second attack on the Samurai Destroyer, his effect would have been negated and thus not able to attack him multiple times.
Now, if he were to attack Sam Destroyer first, I'm trying to look at the way that Chimera Tech's, again, I'm not a, forgive me, because I'm not a Crystron or a Cyber Dragon player, but I'm trying to look at the way Chimera Tech effect is worded to where if that would, I don't know if that would be negated or not.
Yeah, and Soul Cardinal correctly saying 0 defense after the Impact as well. So Xiao's would have had to have chained to the Impact, so we knew that he didn't have it. And we also see the Citadel Whale here. Now, Whale didn't search anything, so you have to assume that that set there is the Sea Stealth Attack. Zekko's setting a card, which you assume is Sea Stealth Attack, and then setting the Impact. Basically, I would say knowing that Xiao's doesn't have access to Cosmic Cyclone.
Yeah, man, at this point, it's really just game.
250 life points remaining. He does have the Overflow.
Flow for 2. Still don't know that there's any way for him to make a stage of recovery, though.
You know, I don't think there is, really, because he would need Twin Dragon, right?
I believe so, yeah.
He can't really make it. Impact coming through.
Got something to, like, unless he runs, like, Econ. We've already seen one current, so most likely not.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, if he's got current now, like, Impact isn't going to do any reductions here. Chimera Tech over Dragon. That has 0 attack up against Samurai Destroyer. And I think Xiao's just showing off. He's got a Herald of the Abyss set. That's what it is. It's not a current. And I think he's going to commit the most honorable Sudoku. He's not. He's actually going in on the fist burn. And here we go. 0 attack. Chimera Zeko over Dragon as Samurai Destroyer negates the effect. And Zeko eliminates Xiao's.
He went out on his own terms, okay?
He did. You want to make sure every card was shown. Which, you know, I would say that does show the skill of Xiao's in its own right. He made a play that literally showed every card that he had, in really the only way he could, I think.
True. So I'm actually still trying to. Do you or does anybody in chat know for sure if you guys play Cyber Dragon specifically? If you swing a Chimera attack, the 2100 into Sam Destroyer first, are you able to make the follow-up attacks, or was that effect negated for that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Once it leaves the field, you're able to.
Well, so I know that once it leaves the field, the effect is like unnegated, but I know that, for instance, like Purg can make follow-up attacks because Purg's effect is you can make multiple attacks per turn, whereas like Chimera attack, you know, you have to like.
Oh, you're saying like it would reset the effect?
I wonder. That would be my wonder. Yes, I don't know for sure, but that was why.
Now you mention it, it does make me kind of curious. Like,
yeah, because I don't know if that gets reset or not. Is the thing? Because like I said, Purg can do that because it's hard written effect is it can swing in multiple times.
True.
But yeah, if any of you guys in chat happen to actually play Cyber Dragon like frequently, and
yeah, like I play it quite a bit, but I don't think I've ever been in that specific situation.
Yeah.
I've just kind of ended up using Twin Dragon.
Right, yep. And yeah, Twin Dragon would be another situation where it's like that has a hard written effect to be able to do it. So I don't know.
Now we do see Restar coming in. A recent re-addition to BlessRNG's roster. Took a little bit of a break. And came back.
Yep. Good player. Very good player. Curious to see what he can do here.
Don't blow smoke. Die.
He's a cool guy, all right.
Oh, we got Crow. It's not going to be the African American wings, but nope. We do see the Shiranui Solitaire and into the Spectral's word it goes.
Yeah, Shiranui can, depending on some, early setup, who goes first with a coin flip, can potentially do some good damage to Sea Stealth attack. But I think the big thing to keep in mind in this matchup is that if Crystron are able to set up Sea Stealth attack and start synchroing, then that's really when things start to snowball toward them. I would say that Shira starts to really struggle at that point. They still have outs to Sea Stealth attack, but primarily in the form of Ballista. It's just really awkward to have to time a Ballista with a monster on board that you can afford to sack off when you manage to force your opponent to banish off a card. It's a lot of things that have to be happening at the same time and pretty specific.
Apologize about the dogs barking.
Oh, they're just saying hi to chat. Chat appreciates them. Everybody.
-1 just making an appearance.
Yeah, if you're hanging out with us in chat and you appreciated Heinz's dogs, go ahead and say hi. Give us some dog emotes.
If I do hit my next sub goal, which I think is super, super far away, I'll probably end up with a dog emote.
Ooh.
Some kind of tomato dog.
What's that goal?
Oh, I don't know. A lot. It's probably... I'm at 11 subs right now because I've been barely streaming. And then it's probably something like 50. So, it's far off.
You never know.
Unless somebody wins the lottery and gets generous. I don't think that's happening. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, I can make a wiener dog with ketchup on it.
Ooh, that could be funny. I'm not gonna lie, when you first described that as a tomato dog, that sounded kind of horrifying, but now it sounds less horrifying.
Alright, that works. We do see the Revived King Hades coming through, which is actually a pretty good card for Restar here. We'll be able to deal with that Crystron Solfefnir.
Yep.
Without the Solfefnir floating and building more advantage. A Gazuki as well can also thin the deck as well as synchro into another zombie type monster.
You can set up the grave for some things for later too. Does go for ups for a solitaire setup for later, which is probably the correct call. I'll make sure he continues to recycle that single spectral sword. Some good value out of it.
Not even off to synchro here. Just gonna keep the board like that. Goes in with the Gozakai.
Now that presumably means that he's got one, if not two ballistas, I would think. You know, he's trying to maximize some damage here, but also would rather stack off, you know, low impact monsters like just that level 2. Possibly a second ballista, because he could plan on stacking off Gazuki, which the only way he's going to resolve that solitaire summon is if Gazuki disappears as well, is really what leads me to think that might be a thing. Impact here.
Nice prismatic impact from Zeko as well.
Yeah.
Grabbing that Fistburn back for further searches in the future.
Fistburn does get to remain on field because Spectral Sword's not big enough to swing over. Technically, if he would have switched his attack order up here and swung with Spectral Sword first, I mean, he could have, you know, it would have been less guaranteed damage, but he could have potentially swung over that monster as well. Otherwise, Zeko would have just, his other option would be to just let all the damage go through. So, you know, very, very small, subtle thing, but could have led to some better overall effects.
And quite intelligent here by Zeko, was smart enough to dump a new Solfefnir as he summons that Gen X Undyne, knowing that the previous Solfefnir still negated in the grave.
So sends the new one, then he's going to start to...
Solid matchup awareness there.
At this point, you actually have to make sure you know which in your grave is the negated one.
Yeah, as you can only use once per turn. Mind you, it is fairly easy to tell as we do have those new icons. Let's see if I can show those. So we have the negated effect icon and the destroyed in battle icon.
Okay. I actually don't know if I knew that those were... I knew we got some new icons a bit ago. I don't know if I knew the specific ones were a thing, so that's good.
I had assumed you were setting me up to give the chat some neat information.
No, I was just genuinely being a scrub.
Ooh, there's that barista squad we were talking about.
One of them. We'll see if there's a second as well. I'm curious.
He doth yeet the Gen X Undyne, losing the target for the Thistburn.
Yep, and Thistburn also is a once per turn, or one effect per turn total, so...
Yeah, and that's a use, not an activate as well. Not that there was any negations, but still could be important to note. It's actually all of the Crystron monsters have that you can only use one effect per turn, with the exception of the Synchros and Solfefnir.
Yeah, true. Rosenix, I don't believe has been used as of yet, has it, or did?
Nope.
Nope. So now he's just thinking if he wants to pop off this turn, or at this point just sack off Umi, maybe.
Targeting at this turn, I think a wise choice here from Zeko. Even if he's not going to make a synchro this turn, a wise choice to get that Thistburn off the board so he can get a search with it, rather than have it run over by battle in the future.
Do we see an... Oh, nope, no end phase ballista. I was really curious there.
When did that impact come out? Was it last turn? This turn, right?
It was... I'm trying to check back because I can't either.
It was last turn. Because he used it to summon the Thistburn off the Spectral Sword. So he actually could have negated that,
That's
first
true.
ballista. Now we're in a bit of a chess match here. A lot of decisions to be made, and the order of plays has to be very specific for both players.
Show yourself. I summon a monster.
Had the other tuner in the hand for Restar here.
The most ideal card to hard draw into. Typically, you can make it work at least. Hanging in with the Spectral Sword, okay.
Hideki said couldn't negate Undyne, wasn't a Crystron. That is absolutely true. I forgot that he had targeted the Undyne with the effect.
Yeah, I have
Thank
as
you,
well.
Undyne. Or thank you, Hideki. Jeez, man. Oh my brain
Keeping
is
us
soup in this heat.
I know, I feel ya. So it does synchro into Amatrix, which will swap, I believe, just the Hadez to defense, yeah. Does allow Gazuki to still swing over Rosenix, which negates that, so that's kind of nice as well.
Still, Zeko in a pretty good spot here. Now has a Crystron Amatrix that'll float, even if destroyed by a Crystron monster. And with that graveyard set up the way it is, I wouldn't say it's too difficult for him to make Aquarian play if he wants.
Yeah, agreed. Quarion or, I mean, honestly, just depending on how good this back row is or not from Restar. As long as he's able to deal with this Hadez, then that Amatrix at very minimum would be able to continue kind of floating.
Now is the perfect time. I special summon a monster.
So Fafnir. Discards off a Prez Yordle.
My monster's effect.
A lot of options on what he can get on board now at this point.
I special
Smiger.
my monster.
Smiger likely gonna pop this Amatrix here, which will float.
Yeah, this is going to be 2 Ryons on the board from this perspective.
Mm-hmm. Most likely.
We
Especially
are
since
just
Resna
coming up on the
starting
2-hour mark of this war, and it's still anybody's game, really. Death Row in the lead, but BlessRNG not hopelessly far behind.
No, not by any means.
I'm counting on you. I special summon a monster.
If that set was a floodgate trap hole, that would be brutal, but instead this synchro is going to go all the way through. Is it at least a
It was a
fiendish
needle.
chain for Restar?
Maybe. He's gotta hope. He's really gotta hope.
And targets
Oh,
down
my,
the
those
Gazuki.
banishes were quick. I don't know if that's a low timer or if that was just ready. But
Yeah, not too difficult to decide that you want to get rid of those tuners. And really the only question after that is Gazuki or Hades.
very
And it's Ballista Squad, so he's going to use this to keep the Spectral Sword around.
yeah.
Lose the target. Obviously, this Aquarian Gandrax. Wow, not going to be protected by the impact. Just going to use that Aquarian to float into a banished monster here. And he offers
Alright.
a Citri for a defensive follow-up for later.
Also gonna give myself a quick shout out because it was to
It was
two
indeed
ballistas
2
face down.
ballistas. That's called turns ago by
Turns.
888.
keep up.
I activate my monster's effect.
Now going Spectral Sword and Hadez into level 8, okay. Does mean that is burning his remaining tuner.
Not anymore.
I activate my monster's effect.
Okay, so Solitaire.
Solitaire brings that tuner straight back. And now we can go into a nice Sun's Aga.
Here I go.
Non-target destruction, and without the Citri having used its effect before, Sun Saga won't be going to defense off an Amatrix.
Yeah.
So he's actually going to go into a Samurai Destroyer. Oh, the
And-
timer! Restart! Takes the W!
It was timer. I was wondering that as well. Because like I said, man, those banishes were quick. Like, it wasn't the hardest decision, but it was also just like, man, that guy just like click, 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 like ready. It was unfortunately because he had no
Yeah, I mean,
timer
if
left.
you're gonna play like that, you got to play like that the whole time. I mean, if you got it like that,
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta say, I'm impressed. Restart was able to lower the timer of Zeko like that.
I know. Well done. I do think either way he had him though, or at least well.
Well, that's the
It
thing.
depends if he had
The
another
Amatrix
goal.
would have floated. So, say he synchros out. There was level 3s in the graveyard. He had access to Ryan, so he actually wasn't going to take any damage that turn. Regardless, Ryan was in the graveyard, and Amatrix would float, but it wouldn't put the Sun Saga into defense position.
He also chose the Sulfafnir at the end though, so he was gonna go Sam Destroyer, right?
Yeah, but I think he picked it because it was the closest one.
Because he didn't have time. Yeah.
I think he definitely would have made a different play otherwise.
Yeah, if he had time, that's fair.
That being said, I mean, that would have been his last Amatrix as well, meaning he really didn't have a way to get the Sun Saga into defense position to clear it.
Yeah, I mean, if Querion's gone and the two Amatrix are gone, unless he had Brio, I guess, would be his only remaining option to get rid of that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it does stand to reason that he would have had Brio. So definitely still anybody's game at that point. But
yeah,
probably favoring Restar.
Brio or Black Rose, typically, I guess those are kind of the flex spot.
Yeah, I doubt Black Rose was going to do much of anything at that point.
Yeah, Black Rose, if that's what he ran, wouldn't have done anything. If he ran Brio over Black Rose, though, would have still had a small chance. Okay.
So I also want to point out Zeko running 2 field spell skills.
Yeah. Yeah, doing Blackwing as a follow, immediate Necro Valley.
So nice all turn 1 there from Zeko. Necro Valley very strong.
Is it? Does that feel premature? Good job.
Well, you're the expert on premature, man.
That's true. That is, my special skill. But no, yeah. I mean, not a bad play by any means. Prevents.
Yeah, but I mean, we do know that definitely seeing more ballistas and whatnot. Why did Arcthor LOL me? Did I say something funny? No, it doesn't sound like something I would do.
I don't think so either. He's crazy. Does summon a Zephyros next NC not this point? Like, okay, Lance. But at this point, the Necro's kind of in his own way, right? Like, if he would have... Because, like, what am I trying to say here? Shira doesn't really do much in terms of Grave Banishing turn 1. Really, the only thing would be maybe if they go into level 8. They would maybe banish turn 1. That's a pretty rare play if it's level augmentation. So in that case,
because Arcthor was making fun of me because I mentioned the 2 field spell skills as if it was important.
Oh. The defense side. The analytical mind of things over here.
Hey, 2 field spell skills.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
I kind of forgot that I'd even said it, to be honest. But yeah, the goal was basically that. It was just that it was a silly thing to take note of.
Right.
So another Solitaire being dumped here. Hey, there's that Barista squad.
Yep.
So how much damage are we potentially looking at here?
Should be game. Well, no, not game, because he's 5k. What would it be? 55 over 13 minus 5. I want to say 49. No. Maybe. No. Let me just calculate because I'm not in the mood to do math. It'd be 44. There we go. All right.
All right, final answer. Keep in mind, I took that off and just allowed you to take the pressure on that.
So yeah, no, it's been a long day. I don't feel like doing any more thinking, man.
Yeah, he opted not to use the effect. Didn't even bother banishing the Gazuki from the grave to get a little extra damage there.
Nope.
And I do apologize to the chat in advance in case you do hear a poodle bark. My my lovely lady is taking my dog out for a quick walk.
It's okay. Chat loves it. They're glutton for pain. They're into that sort of thing. The more you can give to them. Just like, what was her name? Nalu? Was she the one we were talking about earlier?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Nalu.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dirty.
Now, I guess another thing to point. Well, I was gonna say another thing to point out is that he did opt to swing over the level 4 instead of AFD, which he does still have ways to deal with AFD, but just maybe not.
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't boost, so he couldn't actually swing over Ancient Fairy Dragon without
true.
the boost.
He
He
didn't
needed
boost at all, you're
to
right.
use that effect, and now he sees Echo coming through with another Gale, the Whirlwind, which will lower the stats of his Shogun's Aga.
Yeah. Curious on what the back row is. It's got to be something good for him to, well, really to survive here.
Mulat asking if Crow is on level augmentation or level duplication, and I don't think we've actually seen it.
We haven't seen as of yet. He hasn't really had a Squire. He hasn't seen Squire, so.
It's on Mark of the Dragon.
Ooh, could be Mark of the Dragon.
Not for the tuners, but actually just for the ability to have an extra black-winged dragon.
Exactly. Very woke.
So Zeko going into a Raikurai, the rain shower, and Zephyros gonna bounce his way back to the board.
Yep. Just building up some board presence here.
And Raikurai gonna start the targeting effects.
Back row.
So we think Ballista, Fiendish Chain, what we got?
Might be
It's a
Ballista
Barista squad.
I don't know if that's good or not. Those other two cards in hand need to not be. Did not be
Well, one of them's
monsters.
a Whirlwind.
One's a whirlwind, but I mean the other two that aren't whirlwind need to be. Oh, maybe they're not. Are they not? Okay.
And a Roshi the Squall. 4,100 damage on the
41.
board. Is there a Sphere Karibo? It's not unheard of. He would have
Gonna
used it
do it
there, though.
good.
I think this is Echo's game.
Orochi!
A Roshi
No!
for lethal.
Don't do it! Don't hurt him! Don't hurt this man!
He
He
hit
did
him with
it.
a level 1 Orochi the Squall.
You level 1'd him, man.
Crow got killed by Orochi.
Oh my. They did call it, man. Orochi for game.
Man, Crow betrayed, dude.
Feels sad. Putting death row up 5-7, correct?
Correct, which is also my height.
Trap Dexter, depends on when you looked away. But trying to think. I mean, essentially just like he only had ballistas to try and survive, and Zeko was eventually able to go into a wreck here.
Here we go, Restar versus Zeko. And Zeko on Black Wings. Restar seems to be on Black Wings. This looks like a mirror.
Gosh, hold on, I gotta click it in. I'm being lazy.
Oh
Let
no.
me see. Yeah, you're right. It does.
Now, we could see Restar come in with Malefic Blue Eyes. It's another peak performance deck.
Could be a
Not gonna lie to you, it's actually my favorite. but here it's actually Black Wings. But yeah, I love Malefic Blue Eyes, dude. So much fun.
What?
Oh, I'm genuinely serious.
What the? I know you. I can tell you are.
Oh, I adore it. It's such a fun deck to play. It's not like great, but like I mean, you don't have to be great when you're up against ladder plebs.
That's true. Kind of with it.
Bro, I like went so dirty on people up to in the DLV max with that deck. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So many summons. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Flabber in chat, since you asked, players are still in the same.
Literally, they have their names color coded and in the place corresponding to their. God, Flabbers are so dumb, dude. You don't even understand.
Oh, dumb. Just like the rest of chat.
Oh, chat is dumb.
So dumb.
Latte asking, these team members are good, right? These are some of the best players in the game. Except for these two. No, these guys are good.
These guys are good.
I mean, that guy High on Flabber in the chat, he is on this team, BlessRNG. He didn't even make the roster today, and he has a gold icon. He's a top 5 North America player. And Shouz is a former #1 North American player.
True.
I genuinely don't know the accomplishments of anybody else, but those two are actually like friends of mine, so I know them more.
Yeah.
You know.
I also would like to respond to Egg in chat, who, when I called chat dumb, he said, "Excuse me, monkey," and I'm glad that he called me out. He's keeping me honest. You guys know I like when chat does that. What I meant to say is that chat is dumb, except for the Egg 69, who is both old and dumb. And I'm glad he didn't let that go without me.
That is true. He made sure that you didn't just say.
Yeah.
Arcthor topped Meta Weekly once, but lost in top 32. The Egg is cute too.
Egg,
Yeah.
I hope you do come into this chat. Come say hi.
At his age, it's mostly dust when he does. Oh, he spelled it that way.
Oh my god.
Monkey.
Is he here?
Yes!
I've never had to confront you on stream. Oh no. I take it all back immediately. I'm so sorry.
he rode that chairlift up the stairs so fast.
Oh my god. He cranked that thing into turbo.
I got up those stairs with my walker quicker than you could imagine, you son of a biscuit.
He lost a tennis ball off the front front leg of it.
God. Egg, you're great, man. I appreciate you.
Y'all are great. Y'all doing great. Go watch your mirror. See you guys.
Will do.
Thanks for joining
saying
us,
hi.
Egg.
Later.
Guys.
Good cameo. Solid.
Oh my god. That was one of my favorite moments.
I think he was on mobile. His audio quality wasn't as high as it normally is.
That's true, he might have been. But you know what? He did what he had to do. He opened his, what's the old people flip phone? The Firefly?
Okay.
Happens to know what that one is.
He opened up his old CDMA phone, and that was it. And
Yeah.
we do see Zeko taking the win there, moving the score to 5-8 in favor of Death Row. BlessRNG not having the best of luck this season versus their former team members.
No. Zeko starting to put some work in here.
They had another team member that was a former member of theirs, went 4-2 in his war against them. So let's see if Hypebeast can end this streak from Zeko and turn this all the way around. We did see Hypebeast go, I think, 6-1 in a war one time, something like that.
Yeah, and it could happen. I'm not counting either team out at this point yet. Hypebeast, let's show us let's give us a good showing here. You got it, man.
The Egg said it was a Motorola flip phone, and it's
Yeah,
probably not even like
okay.
a Motorola Razr.
Yeah, no. That's way too new. Those buttons are a little too small for him.
I remember how to spell it.
I like that you went in chat to type it and then compliment yourself.
No,
Like,
yeah, because like,
I
I
never
actually
had
had that. I had that phone.
Oh, dude, same. I think like honestly, I think almost everybody did. That was
Oh yeah,
like
if you're in
one
our
of
age
the all-time
range,
most popular selling phones. Yeah. Yeah, if you were like, give or take, probably in your 20s right now at all, I would imagine that you at some point owned a Razor.
That's funny because I can't grow facial hair to this day since I had my razor. Oh shit! No, actually, I had my camera on. People know that I'm growing a mustache right now. It's pathetic.
Wait, are you?
Yeah, it's awful. I've literally only grown a mustache to annoy my girlfriend.
That's all kinds of phenomenal. Good for you. Go you.
It's terrible. Like this thing comes with like a van that says free candy on the side of it.
Right, but like you're terrible, so it matches your personality.
That's what I'm thinking.
You now on the outside look like you are on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, like as soon as this thing started to grow on my face, like immediately I got letters from school saying I have to stay a certain distance away.
Oh, I mean that's just how it works. They get notified. Schools are starting to be proactive now instead of reactive. They identify a probable candidate based on the mustache.
Which is weird because they still require American students to carry a sidearm, which is weird.
That is true. If you are an American, you do have to carry a sidearm everywhere you go. Specifically so you can shoot people.
Well, only if you're a student.
That wasn't clear. Yeah. Yeah, true. Really. So what do we think?
Arcturus killer be killed.
Killer be killed. That's the daily mentality.
You say that right after the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, and then you end it with a killer be killed.
Killer be killed.
Then they sound the Hunger Games horn. The day begins.
Everybody rushes to the cornucopia. I remember that word from Hunger Games. Still don't know what it means.
See, I actually have never seen or read Hunger Games. I just happen to know there's a horn.
Oh, okay.
That's about. I'm really pushing the limits of how far I can make Hunger Game jokes already by entering that territory.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll give it up because I read it, but I found it entirely forgettable. So.
Fair.
Aside from the word cornucopia.
There you go. You gotta have
Apparently
some kind.
Nothing to do with corn. Which would mean that you would actually know something about it because you're from Nebraska.
True. We do have corn here. All right.
Famously.
I myself do not live on a farm. Don't worry. But you know, I live about 100 miles away from farms in most any direction.
That can't be true. Everybody knows that Nebraska is 100% farmland. Why are you lying?
I mean, there's like this like 2% where there's not, and there's like a bunch of civilization, and that's me. And Greg, nah, I'm not knocking on farmland. That life would not be for me personally at all. But I mean, I know people who do that, or have known people who do that, and they're good people. It's a good life.
Everybody knows Monkey Boy's body can't tolerate dairy. Soy latte kind of guy.
Calling me out, huh?
I'll be honest, I've never had a soy latte. I don't even know if they're bad. I just know that people hate on them for some reason.
I'm actually not a coffee drinker myself. Coffee and tea are both like kind of more earthy of drinks than I prefer.
Don't drink coffee.
I know. And see, usually when I say this, generally people's reaction, I'm not saying it's going to be yours, but just I'm sure there's people in chat, since they're, you know, so stupid. Generally people's reaction is like, oh, but you need to try insert like X name of, or X type of coffee or X type of tea. They're like, you say you don't like them, but that's just because you haven't tried this. I'm like, no, like they all, I don't know.
I could
like,
kind of see it with some
like
teas, like those like David's teas, or like Tivana, whatever they're called. Like those ones are basically just hot juice. But like
yeah, some of them aren't as bad, but even still, they still taste like leafy. And any coffee drink still tastes kind of like coffee. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
kinda
I
like
mean, coffee
dirt-ish.
is hot bean water, and I love it, but it's just hot bean water.
No. This is top class commentary.
What else were you expecting, Salty Crab?
Yeah, what do you think we're gonna do? Talk about the game? Talk about how DM is
Yeah, I'm not calling Dark
set up
Magician
over-
versus Black Wings.
think we give a heck about this full combo that DM likely has. that we
Literally
didn't see
both
in
players
Twitch.
open full combo, by the way.
I know.
I'm not gonna call you out and like say like you have to try a certain coffee. I'm just amazed that you can wake up in the morning. Do you wake up easily? Like, are you a morning guy?
So no, not at all. Very, very different. Well, so once I'm up, I'm okay. But like getting out of bed is the fight of my life every day.
Oh yeah.
I do typically work out in mornings though, and like I'll do like pre-workout for that. So I do have I'm not like anti-caffeine. I just don't like the coffee.
Send me pictures.
Oh my. Oh no. Yeah, Magic Carpet Chat.
I'm saying exactly what we were all thinking.
Yeah, we're we try and call it technical play when we can, but these are both two pretty straightforward decks and nothing super new to the meta either. Dork Magician, as Heinz likes to call it.
This is true.
Ooh, Godfather, thank you.
And of course, Obsidian Hawk Joe can just move that effect over, but that rod can use its effect and chain block that effect. Whoa! Yeah, you guys happy now? Jesus. The chat's so stupid they need us to call it Dark Magician games. Anyway, let's go back to the actual.
Egg pointing out Pixie Dragon instead of Raikiri was odd. I mean,
You're odd.
Was
Got
it,
him.
though?
Well, he drew a
went
card
first.
with it, right?
Yeah, he went first and set that up and drew a card. He basically was just fishing for CC, because really, as long as you have that, like your monsters are all 2600, if not 28 with field spell, I guess. But either way, they just yeet Dark Magicians. Yeah, Ancient Pixie Dragon and Joe.
Ooh, TCG Asta subscribe to Tier 1, subscribe for 5 months on a 1-month streak. He says coffee beans are from berries.
What the? Well,
Is that true?
I don't think so. Doesn't sound true based on my knowledge of coffee beans, albeit limited, but no. Eggs, there we go.
All right.
Egg, they are literally beans.
I believe the egg because he was around when they were discovered.
That sounds like a lot.
I heard a fun fact about coffee one time, that the Pope was, they originally brought the Pope coffee because this is like way back in the day, right? They discovered them in like Africa or something. They brought him coffee and to decide whether or not drinking coffee was a sin.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually had to bring him the coffee, and he declared it wasn't a sin. In fact, it was the most delicious thing he had ever drank, and it must be a gift from God. So, good stuff.
Nice. Also, I'm gonna point out what was probably a misplay.
Not swinging over the Magician's Dark Illusion, or
Yeah, I don't.
well, he had already
understand.
burnt its effect.
Oh, had he? Okay, never mind. That's a misplay from me. Haha. Okay.
How impressed were you that I was able to anticipate your recognition of a misplay and recognize that you recognized that it was and then correct it?
I feel bad, is what I'm gonna say. You know, I feel like I played myself and then, you know, followed up and finished it out. And I'm glad, because like I said, you know, I appreciate when people are over here keeping me honest.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. The egg, 69 with the coffee bean, coffee pasta. Nailed it. All right, a coffee bean is a seed of the coffea plant and the source for coffee. It is the pit inside a red or purple fruit, often referred to as a cherry. Just like ordinary cherries, the coffee fruit is so-called stone fruit. Even though the coffee beans are not technically beans, they are referred to as such because of their resemblance to true beans. He had his granddaughter help him out, Ulad.
Get the coffee pasta going, guys. Keep things lively in here. It's called the beat.
Are you talking about that thing in Chicago, Salty Crab? Yeah, how they got that big metal bean. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I don't. I'm sorry. I've actually never been to Chicago. Which
Well, me either.
is
I'm
weird.
Canadian. I'm not going there.
That's true. It's a little weirder for me because it's actually one of the closest like big cities to me over in Nebraska. It's about 8 hours away. Denver's one of the other ones, about 8 hours the other direction. But I've been to like New York, been to San Francisco, never Chicago.
Well, that is weird then.
Yeah, like I've
kind of
gone
danced
further.
around
It's not
it.
that it's not that I like don't travel or have never traveled or anything. It's just like I don't know. I've never heard anything about Chicago that's been. I'm not opposed to it, but I've never heard anything about it that's like, man, I need to get there now.
You hear that, folks? He said he's anti-Chance the Rapper. He's anti-Obama, and I know literally nobody else from Chicago.
Kanye.
Kanye? Oh yeah. He's anti-Kanye. That's
Yeah.
basically just. You know what all those people have in common? You know, I'm starting to understand from you now.
To the important question from Arcthorn chat. Hypebeast is not down a deck actually.
Isn't right. I didn't
Can't
adjust it
match it.
from the previous player.
Yep,
So thank
no
you.
worries. Good catch. Over here calling us out.
And that does eliminate Zeko, stopping his streak. So 3-2.
So
And
super fun
we do have to say that was actually well played from Hypebeast as well.
Yeah.
Because he was staring down one heck of a board and managed to pull that back.
Yeah, let's go.
And while we were talking about coffee and Chicago and beans, Hypebeast was out here clapping.
Yeah, there was some actual dueling going on, you know, albeit not the freshest matchup. I'd be still very much trying to keep his team alive here. Got 4 more wins to go. That can happen.
It can,
decks.
it has, and you know, Hypebeast trying to make it happen again. We've
Also
got
in Chicago.
Naxio versus Hypebeast Reno.
Go, see what kind of matchup we have coming in.
Alright, so Naxio, bringing in Zane Truesdale, you have to suspect this is going to be yet another Cyber Dragons versus Dark Magician matchup.
Looking like it. They do have an answer still left in the tank for DM. Now, that being said, I mean, we saw how this played out the other direction, first time around at the very least.
And, I think this might be the first time in a long time I've seen the animated Neospatian mat.
Okay, I have seen it before. For a second, I was looking at the one of the particular frames of it. I was like, I don't know if I've seen this.
Well, I definitely remember this Divine Neos one because of the lack of bulge.
See, the Divine Neos one is the one I actually didn't remember seeing, but I do remember some of the other ones.
And we do see Naxio going first with Cyber Dragons, and you know he opened up well because he's already slapping down that cybernetic fusion support.
Oh my lord.
He says,
That's a dangerous opener.
I needn't search anything else. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna go
man.
+1 here.
Yeah. He's gotta have either the trap or the fusion. At this point, DM's really hoping that he only has one and that they open at least one Cyclone so they can somehow get lucky and snipe it. Otherwise, they probably lose.
I mean, that's a triple set, full board.
That's scary as heck.
Literally +2 on turn 1 from Naxio.
Ooh, and he just circles. It's not like that's wrong, but it's probably not going to win him the duel.
He grabs
Right, all
the
he can do.
Navgascion. Does he have the rod? I mean, ultimately, it's probably not going to matter.
I was going to say, does it matter is the real question. I don't know if the answer to that's yes.
Now, I know Hypebeast, and I know that he's probably just about ready to throw his phone, and we do see it's not even the cybernetic overflow. He's going cyberload fusion, and he's just going to destroy things with that, using Rampage Dragon to yeet that back row off the board.
Not gonna lie, I have empathy for that, like being about ready to throw your phone type feel. I feel like it's been like a good while since I've had a good, nice, fair, even game in any of my Team Wars matches, and I'm in similar positions when I just have the crappy ones where it's just like, man, screw this guy.
Yeah, Wulad pretty much saying it exactly right. Hypebeast is like, God damn it, I got God-handed again.
Yep.
Because, I mean, it literally happens to him pretty much every time he plays.
Yeah. Happens to all of us, unfortunately, sometimes, but it's super frustrating when it does. It's like, man, I enjoy this game. It's at its most fun when we have like an interactive back and forth. It'd be cool if I could at least have that much. You know, if my opponent outplays me, sure. But a lot of matchups in this meta that are...
Yeah, Greg saying at least he didn't brick. That's true. Just lost a coin flip, really. it was cool to see, you know, both players open up extraordinarily well. But, you know, sometimes some matches are just heavily decided by the order of plays, and Naxio takes the game, moving Death Row to match point.
Now again, I really still would not consider Hypebeast down and out. Definitely
no,
a setback.
Not.
Would
But he
love
does
get
have
some more
to be
mileage.
sure that he is not succumbing to the frustration of getting hit like that. It can be frustrating.
True.
Can throw people off their game. He needs to remain calm. He needs to remain in the zone. He's the anchor for BlessRNG. No pressure. Everything's riding on every single play he makes.
Yeah, any mistake costs your whole team the war.
I hope he's not listening.
I would assume not. Most players in their team matches get pretty focused. You're in a voice chat at most, if anything.
All right, Hypebeast bringing out his PP. So I feel like this matchup, unless you open up Chris, I would say if you're going second, it heavily favors Cyber Dragons.
Yeah, if Cyber Dragons can set up what they do, then yeah, you're in a real tough spot.
I mean, it's hard to get searches through, you know, your Black Whirlwinds getting banished and your monsters getting destroyed. It's just so much.
Yeah, back row getting destroyed as well. Potentially, depending on the direction of play. Oh my god, Core
He's doing it again.
doing the thing again, and it's a deck with a very similar choke point.
Oh, no, it's exactly the same.
Oh no, it's the same thing. Now this time he did search the trap instead of cybernetic fusion support, but I don't know that really is better.
Hypebeast like, give me 3 Cyclones and a Simoon one time.
3 Cyclones. Honestly, 3 Well, would 3 Cyclones and Simoon even be
Well, he would need 3 Cyclones, Simoon, plus another.
plus a
Blackwing
monster, but even then he can do 2 searches total in addition to that Simoon. I guess since he's
2,000
2K
life
life.
points. All you gotta do is whack a core.
Yeah, because if you can go like Raikiri plus any single monster, then you can pop whatever they fuse into, so yeah. He has the Simoon. He's missing the 3 Cyclones, though.
Yeah, that's something I noticed straight away.
Yeah, I really noticed the lack of 3 Cyclones.
Hey, did you know that if you use Simoon, you can actually choose to send it to the graveyard rather than normal summon it for some reason?
Yeah, if you click no. Alternatively, you can still activate Simoon under, for instance, a card like Heat Wave, and you just can't summon. So you send it to grave.
So we do see just the lone Simoon standing here with no wins behind him. Oh, he had the Orochi in the hand already, so he will be able to get a level 7 Synchro.
Okay. He's trying, man.
That was strangely high energy. Really wasn't
I just want to
expecting
see
that.
Hype Beast have a shot, man.
I synchro summon a monster.
Does he have another Blackwing in the hand? Raikiri here is basically running on fumes. He has Zephyros.
Monster in attack position.
Give it to him. Come on, Hype Beast.
I mean, the overflow is burnt.
My monster's effect activates.
You know, there's got to be somebody in team chat with Hypebeast saying, you know, you got to pick one of the back row cards, or giving the reasoning for hitting the proto. But I don't know. What do you think is the correct hit here?
I mean, I think it just has to be a back row card.
And it looks like we're going to see the Cyberload Fusion. So keep in mind, Cyberload Fusion can only go into Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon here.
True, which is less than 2800, so, or what will soon be 2600.
Actually, I suppose he could also go into Chimera Tech Over Dragon, but that would only be 24. So it would actually be probably worse, as at least the Rampage Dragon can destroy the mountain.
True.
And then if you can establish a follow-up later, at least a Cyber Twin Dragon can deal with the Raikiri once the mountain is gone.
So true.
Why is Salty Crab saying that you can go Twin here? You cannot.
No, because the what was it? The core was banished, and core is only
Oh, he didn't destroy the mountain. Oh, because it was Chain Link 2, you can't destroy the mountain.
interesting.
Yeah, it would miss timing. It is a when effect. Cosmic Cyclone, though, will save
Oh.
his life.
Interesting, because if he would have swung in the other, that's interesting.
Yeah, it would have been a dead set.
Yeah,
Mind you,
well,
Hypebeast really had no way of knowing what that last card was.
no, not even dead. If he would have swung in the other order, it would have. I mean, yeah, I guess been a dead set. He couldn't have used it, but yeah, he would have gotten the Zeph through. Probably still played it correctly, but yeah. It's looking like Hypebeast has this. There's not really one card much.
Hey, you just
one card
ripped the
recovery.
second
There it is.
Zephyros, the
Oh,
elite.
he doesn't care,
Oh,
man.
He won through that God Hand.
Oh my, that was crazy. I'm stoked to see that, and I'm not super partial toward like rooting for one team or another. I just want to see a good match. I want to see, like, you know, not just straight blowout. And I'm glad to see that that was somebody who overcame a straight blowout opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It looked really bleak for Hypebeast there going into that hand, and he was able to pull it through and make this even closer. And it is 7-9, still match point for Death Row. Naxio needs to take Hypebeast out here. Blackwing's one of those decks that can clean up too.
Yeah, very much. It's got some weaknesses. Blackwing's not a perfect deck, but I mean, it's a good streak deck. Like, you know, if they don't have a right answer to it, it's a deck they can potentially just run away with a few.
I feel like, you know, Naxio probably did have a chance of winning that game, except he did use that overflow so early that Hypebeast was still able to make plays after it. You know, he really didn't have to do anything until a tuner hit the board, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, yeah, you just gotta
Or just
play
wait
the
for the
duel to the
second
best of your
normal
ability.
summon, let the second
Bait out
normal
what you
summon
can.
hit, and then it was done.
Yeah.
But you know, he let Hypebeast have a chance. And I would say that this is going to be Shiranui, and this is probably a pretty good matchup for Hypebeast here. He does open up the Shiranui Squirrel. Now we did talk earlier about the best Duel Links girls. Now, would you be in agreement that Blair is obviously top tier?
Oh no! Don't trap me like that, Hein. I got real nervous as soon as you said Duel Links girls and saw Blair on screen.
She's as tough as she is cute, man.
I don't. All I know is I want her maiden in love to stay the heck away from me for, you know, about 12 more years just to be safe.
All right, Wulad wants you to rate your top 5 Duel Links girls. Oh wait, does that include like Erica and Alyssa? Because
I don't even know who those are, dude.
standard duelists.
Oh, like Bella. Okay.
Bella's my dog. Magikarp says number 1, Reseline.
Ooh. Number 2, Vera. Number 3, Sharon. Naming all the Duel Links players.
Oh, Big Daddy's top tier, man.
Big Daddy's cool as heck. She's a dude, though.
Yeah, she's my favorite dude.
That's why she's so cool. Nah, not a burn on Daddy. Daddy's a friend.
Did you just friend zone Daddy?
I did.
What the heck is wrong with you, man? Why would you do that to her?
I know. As far as I'm trying to think of my rankings stuff on also real quick, just so we don't let too much go by in the duel. Floodgate's real nerve-wracking, but potentially still okay.
Whoa, Godfather being objectifying here. Rude.
Who are my top 5 Duel Links gals? Mai is probably number 1. Alexis number 2. Maybe the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX card shop owner for number 3.
Isn't that an old
Forget
lady?
her name. Is it Dorothy? Is that her name?
Is that an
I
old
was
lady?
trying to look up. I mean, you know, but
Getting gummed? What?
it's a little offensive to call her that, but I mean, she's, you know, not the age of the student. If anybody remembers her name, let me know. But yeah, this is Gigi on
Yeah,
board.
it's looking like a snack wrap here. Kind of unfortunate. I mean, triple back row.
Yeah.
You know, Hypebeast probably needed to go first in this matchup. The back row can be so cancerous.
Yeah, or just not have, you know, his opponent open as many back row as they did. But either way, I mean, that is what it is, right? Like, Death Row clearly brought a good lineup. They had answers to these type of decks even all the way through the end. They carried a small but powerful lead the whole way through, so well done to them through and through.
And Wayne was correct. I mean, he did say that Death Row would win as long as Kagami didn't get to play.
Kagami throwing some reverse shade in the chat.
Yes, I saw that. Big fan of that. And Naxio going to take the win here for Death Row. So big ups to Death Row. Congratulations to them. It's a shame to see my boys on BlessRNG go down. You know that I never like to see it, but sometimes these kinds of things happen. And
yeah.
see that end at 2-1 there for Naxio. Still close war, 10-7. Like you said, you know, we used to be 10-8 or closer, and
Back in our prime.
now we're you know, we're seeing 10-7s and 10-6s more and more often.
Yeah, we've loosened up, you know, our margins over time. We get old.
This is true, and you know what? We're ending before the 3-hour mark. So we are on the main channel, so I will let whoever's in charge of the channel right now do the hosting. Do you have any final words, Monkey Boy?
Just the classic thanks to everybody in chat. This has been a really fun one, actually. So thanks to you, Heinz, for making it fun, and thanks for everybody in chat for actually, you know, having some kind of fun banter back and forth. For Egg for showing up and dropping some memes on us. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys.
All right, well, thank you everybody for coming through, and we will talk to you guys later on. Hopefully, Monkey Boy and I will be able to get together again next week to bring you guys some more Team Wars action.
Always.
Peace!